Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SSL Season 5 Prospect Draft. This is Project Saint hosting, and with me, introduce yourself, boys and girls.
I'm Cole. I'm the manager of Seoul MSC. I'm excited to see what everyone else is going to do in the draft because I don't think I have a pick within the range for eligible prospects.
So you're just reloading for the time being, I presume.
For the most part, yeah. I'll give my my insight, if you will.
I'm G2019. I'm the manager of Cairo City. I also don't currently have a first round pick, but you know how crazy things can be and how much I love making deals, so we'll see if I can get my hands on one.
Indeed.
I'm Omni, and I'm the manager of CF Catalonia, and I'm excited to be here.
Oh, welcome, Hoy. And behind the scenes with us as well, we have Jess with us, and Candice hosting the whole systems. And yes, indeed, Dom, I am British. Well, I live in the UK. But yeah. Oh, I think. Wait, do we have our first pick in already?
It would appear that way.
Yeah, looks like so. Well, this is quick. Well, yeah, as we can see on the board right now, we have our picks around here. Rounds
Hear the
1 to.
negotiations. Sorry.
That's alright. Well, yeah, there we go. Got our first pick in and quickly, and it's all the driver, Master Sheep, defender. You'll be heading over to the recent team that's coming over. União Sao Paulo. Oh, I butchered that immediately.
I love that
Is
pick.
Is this the unveiling of their logo too, their crest?
It would
'Cause
appear like that, yeah. I don't think it's
that's
on the forum
sexy.
anywhere. That is
Wow.
very well done.
It is. Reminds me of Flamengo, but so damn well done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Obviously, first.
Yeah.
Before we dive in too far, I do have some pick notes from Lobster Killa, the new manager of this expansion team. So he told me we had a great chat with Master Sheep, and they're exactly what we were looking for with our first pick in the draft. A defender who is looking forward to helping an expansion team thrive and hopefully become a cornerstone of the organization for seasons to come. Between the conversation we had and the fact that Master is a top earner in their class in both the SHL and PBE, they were a no-brainer to select first overall.
And honestly, looking at just their stats here, their center back with 14 decision, which is like a really good thing to start out at. 13 acceleration, which a lot of the forwards are really fast, so you can play this center back in a high line, and they have 13 jumping reach, so they won't be getting beat on corners right away. So it's a really good pick. They have really good player traits too. Play short simple passes, so you can use them to play out from the back, and they mark their opponent tightly, which is obviously as a center back, you want to mark your opponents. Well, sometimes you don't, but yeah, it's usually a good trade, I would say.
I'd agree so as well. With Holy Diver, who I presume listens a lot to Ronnie James Dio, seen by the name. I presume that they'll be the main centre back, the whole bedrock of the team that you don't want to deal with. Bit like you, Mertz.
I mean, when you look at rookie center backs, you want to see those fundamentals being very high, and Ladiver's build is very, very good. I think that'll be a huge piece for that team. I mean, the jumping reach is there. They're going to be dominant in the air from day one, and with the decisions being so high, I don't think you're going to see them making many mistakes in front of the net.
Indeed. Alright then. So with first pick out of the way for Union Sao Paulo, next up should be, if I can get all up for me. Yep, football club Kapstad, which is South Africa. I'm usually scorned anyways on Nigeria, so it'll be live.
I'm excited to see the branding for this club as well.
Oh, so am I, indeed.
Yeah, I guess this is the brand reveal for everyone.
For most clubs. Sao Paulo should be also interested in defense, I presume. At least, definitely not for midfield, since they already got quite a good number there. Actually, they have Villavalo there, Marian Montes in midfield as well. Defense, correct me as well. They also have their crew, Giannis Kustis. So, yep, that makes it clear that they're going for striker. Lachlan O'Rourke, legend. He'll be heading over to the South African club.
One of
And
3 players from Galway in the league.
Wait, 3?
I believe it's 3. It's myself, Lachlan O'Rourke, and he tagged the other person in his post. I can't remember who it was at the time.
Otis Boudreau.
I
Ooh.
believe it was Boudreau, yes.
also, I just want to point out that this is also another really solid build. 13 acceleration, 13 pace, 13 anticipation. And they have moves in the channels and likes to try to beat offside trap, which you need to be fast. But you also need to have the anticipation to, like, if you don't have high anticipation, you're gonna get a lot of offsides. So this is a really good build to start off on, and I can see them being like a really good advanced forward or potentially a poacher depending on what system they choose to play them in.
Indeed, the case. Reminds me of Owen 44. Obviously, I wouldn't say an aerial threat, but that's not his goal. Just outright dominate you with passing. And with the midfield they have, I see that as a very good potential for Kapstad, with a nice logo to boot. Also, legend in the chat, I see you right there. Welcome over to Sao Paulo. No, welcome over to Kapstad.
2 picks in and we're already in the sauce, apparently.
I take no responsibility for any mistakes I make.
That's the way to do it.
So that's 2 of our expansion teams taking their picks.
So on the clock now is Inner London FC, and I think it'll be exciting to see who they pick. Um, oh, sorry, I thought that it was about to pop up. Anyways, yeah, I think it'll be exciting because I know it's really unfortunate that they got relegated.
Yeah.
And they did sell a lot of players, but it looks like they're really committed to rebuilding. And I've talked to TBC personally. I mean, they won a league before. They're a really good manager. They really know their stuff, and I'm really excited to see how they rebuild Inner London.
Well, they're going to invite God into the scenes of London, traveling not too far, less than like 50, 70 miles from Southampton. Matt Letizia heading over to into London.
Again, another really good rookie striker build. 13 finishing, 14 pace. They're going to be quick. They're going to be able to be clinical in front of the net. With curls balls and plays 1-2s, they're going to be very dangerous up front. And I think that's going to be a big piece for Inter London's rebuild here.
Indeed, including the penalty taking aspect as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly, for a team like Inter London, they still have so much clout with them being obviously champions, a high-end team. This year is probably more of an anomaly, if anything. So I can certainly see them striking right back up and gaining promotion. And Letizia would sort out so many things they missed since the departure of Con Aspilicueta. G?
Yeah, any team with TVC as a manager is going to be super dangerous. And just looking at this draft and how many picks she has to use, I have no doubt that this team is going to be a powerhouse once those players gain some TPE. I did actually get some comments from TVC on this Letitia pick. She said she's excited to add Dom to the team and excited to welcome Matt to the starting 11. Letitia, their prowess in front of goal is a big reason that she wanted to bring them in, but it's the user that she liked more. Dom comes over from the ISFL, where he's done great work with the Minnesota Grey Ducks, an organization which TVC has been very closely linked to. Back can speak from my personal experience in the ISFL as well. And with Dom being a newer user there, has really kind of just taken off, taken on a lot of league responsibility as well, and really made a name for himself. So excellent pick by Inter London.
100%.
Honestly, I also agree. I mean, I personally talked to this user. I mean, I interviewed them. This is one of the users I interviewed, and you know, they seemed like a really great user, a really fun, friendly guy. Seemed really passionate about sim leagues in general, and seemed really excited that they could find like a football sim league. I think all of us here that have been here for a long time, that's probably one of the things that attract us. We get to watch 3D matches, a lot of and we just saw the fourth pick.
Oh, that was quick. And
Uh,
well then, and over.
I guess we'll wait for the card to talk about it, but I do really like that pick.
Okay, we'll hold off on that. But no one saw it. Look,
No
it's
leaks,
just
no leaks.
it's a figure of your imagination, all right? It's nothing. There's nothing to worry about. No highlight, no highlight. Well, yeah, yes. Buenos Aires is the next team. Okay, now we can talk about
There
them.
it is.
Heading over to Buenos Aires to the good airs is Che Guevara. Caltrot with Flames, a long-standing user who I've seen quite around the ranks, really. Defenseman, a defender, and a very all-round build on them as well.
Yeah, I got a
yeah,
chance to chat
so
with oh, you go ahead, Omni.
I think he might have sent me the same thing. I also got a message from Zima, the manager. He said, perfect pick for us. I great chats with Cal, sorry, and think they will be a great presence in the locker room. I know that we get a player in a position of need from Argentina, which I mean, they're an Argentinian team, so it's good to get like a local player. So they're very excited to add Cal to their ranks, and 13 marking, 13 strength, and 13 passing. I mean, personally, as a Tiki Taka team, I love that for a center back. That's sexy. But I think that's a great pick, and I definitely do know they needed some defenders. So yeah.
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 Well, as you said, Tiki Taka team that, other than Catalonia, that describes Buenos Aires pretty damn well. So for them to have that passing of them to be all rounded as well, I'm pretty sure Che Guevara could fill in and in quite a few positions as well. Obviously, center defense is his main, but yep, he can fill around anywhere on the defense. You can have him out wide as well, and that kind of flexibility will help a lot, especially
Yeah, I
with you.
got to chat with Cal for a bit before the draft, and I was doing my scouting, even though I was fairly certain I was never going to get the chance to get to him. He's a great user, great player. I mean, it's kind of a funny story. This is the only sim league I'm super active in, so I was chatting with him, and we actually are both patrons to the same Red Wings podcast. So we're in another Discord server, and we've talked before, but I had no idea where it was from. And
Red
somehow I
Wing,
did not encounter him in sim leagues at any point before this.
well, certainly have now.
No, he's
And
going to be a big piece for Buenos Aires. They're going to be very happy with that pick.
indeed, and don't worry about not catching him then, Mets. I'm pretty sure you'll still be able to talk about the good traits you're probably having.
Oh,
You should-
definitely. Yeah, no, he's very much a good conversationalist and a great guy to have around.
Indeed. Next up is Adoa Aqua. And although they didn't do too well in the league, they did, however, have a very, very fine time enjoying themselves in the cup.
They probably went on the craziest run of this year's Cup.
They did. I think they made it to semis today.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. And well, if there's a team. If it's another team, I would have as a favorite to make it of out of season Division 2. It would be Aqua.
I definitely think they have the talent there. They didn't really lose anyone this offseason, and they've been adding through the draft, so they're going to be a threat in Div 2, and it's going to be exciting to watch them play.
Indeed. Midfield is going to be solid. They have Konstantin Selic up front. Although I would say another striker will do well, but Carl Feltz coming in mid season is also another good addition. So it's gonna be interesting where they do add actually. Possibly in defense, but then they have Waters with Bingo Jones. So show
They're
us
one
what
of
you
those
got.
Yeah, they're one of those teams where their weakness doesn't come from any real holes in the roster. It comes from inexperience. Once they get some more TP in and their players get more developed, they're going to be a real threat.
Could also mean they have trade assets as well. So
Yeah,
I want to see what the Jellifies like there. Who are they going to pick? Oh, Jack Coleman, Dylan, center defenseman, all round
it's
build.
solid.
Dylan, welcome aboard, and please stop stalking me everywhere. I see this user everywhere around, no matter what, and it's so amusing. But yeah, Jack
Yeah,
Coleman. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So another player interviewed, Jack Coleman, pretty active user, um, and he's really fun to talk to and stuff. But also too, like his player, pretty fast, agile, has balance, which I mean, that's pretty good for a defender, I guess. They play short, simple passes, which I think is a good trait for a defender, especially since in the beginning usually you have like really bad passing and first touch and vision. So it's better for your center back to be doing those simple passes rather than trying like low percentage passes. So then that way, you keep the ball and you're not giving it up right in front of your net. So I think that's good. Plus with the marks opponents tightly, pretty good like traditional center back. Think it's a good pick, and if they keep the activity that I think they will, probably going to be one of the top like earners in their class. So obviously another solid pick, and will go really well with Snooks, who was like really good last season.
hmm I honestly trust as well in Dylan. I know that I joked about him being around everywhere, but he is indeed a good user. Oh gosh, no! Stop! He just DM'd me surprise as well. Stop it! Well, yeah, indeed, a very fun user to be around, at least in my opinion. Has all round traits. He also had 13 marking, which is what you need for a defenseman, and that composure as well, 13. So he'll be very very good to at least to start off with. And now we're going to back into picks, really stacking out this first round.
Yeah, Inter definitely sold the farm to get in early on this draft class, and I mean, it's fair to say TBC got dealt a pretty rough hand in the last offseason, so the fact that this offseason they were able to get all these assets and get ready for this rebuild is definitely a testament to their ability to manage a team.
100%.
Because they also have 4 in the second round,
Yeah,
so they're
they're going to
loaded.
walk away with half the draft class, and it is going to be absurd.
So, I mean, I think this is definitely a team that if they all can stick together, will be very scary in the future.
Absolutely.
Absolutely indeed. And considering, I think it's going to be another. It could be another forward. Could be a midfielder as well. There, they really sold house. No Clemens. No Lanquai. It's going to be a whole new attacking outlet. So I'm very curious to see how they just just change things up. Gonna be new identity for the team from London.
And they're going to
And
start with a central midfielder, Tata Yore. Russ drives the bus.
13 pace, 13 strength, shoots with power and short simple passes. This is probably just a simple midfielder build, but can straight out run away with things with how you go around. Dr. Yori, actually never got to talk with him. I never got to talk with anyone, sadly.
I'm actually really excited for this one. This I'm assuming they're trying to go for a Yaya Toure build where, they're more of like a physical, box to box midfielder, but probably gonna put. I'm assuming they're gonna put in their long shots or finishing and technique as well. Um, and yeah, just be that guy that like can win you the ball back, but can also get you those really really nice long shots.
His
Yeah,
technicals,
so
his technicals and mentals isn't exactly that high, but he really stacked out physically. 13 pace, 13 strength, 12 acceleration, and he also has that defensive midfielder mindset in him, and can possibly fit out as an attacker mid. So pretty much vertically sorted.
yeah, and I do have some notes from TVC on this one. She said Russ is another amazing user from the ISFL, also linked with the Minnesota Grey Ducks, but better known as one of the two GMs for the San Jose SaberCats. His energy is infectious, his wisdom legendary, and we can't wait to see what he brings to this team and this league. TVC has worked closely with Russ on a couple different projects throughout the last few years and considers him an inspiration as a mentor and an amazing leader.
Positive outlook there, and TVC linking into to ISFL links there. I know even if it's a messy build there, it's a good base to have right there, and no worries. As time goes on, you can really sort yourself out there. So don't worry about it being messy. You're doing good. And agree as well. TVC is a sweetheart. She is very good.
Yeah, I mean, Russ, I feel like, and you're gonna be playing the second division. Uh, Generally speaking, against lower TPE players, and as like a physical, like usually in lower leagues, physical attributes are usually better, and it's only when you get in the higher level that like you need the mental and techniques. Like for instance, my player Budget Biscuits had a bad first season. I think I was one of the lowest rated players in the whole division. I'm not gonna lie. And then since then I've done a lot better, but it's because I made a technical player. Like I don't even have any physicals that are like higher than 12 or 13, I think. Maybe my jumping reach, but that's it.
Hey, we have no Dom. I swear Tokyo has Ted Lasso. Okay, no, not exactly by name, but still. But yeah, still like Busquets. As Busquets says, don't worry about your mentals being low or your technicals. The physicals wears out with a low TPE, and you can just grow as you wish.
Yeah, the way that this player is built, they're not going to be the most creative on the pitch, but they're definitely going to be a very effective user. They're going to be able to get up and down faster and better than pretty much anyone else in the division.
True,
Yeah.
and I don't.
Sorry.
That's alright. I feel like I'm bumping in too much. I don't want to play bumper cards yet.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's hard to figure out the timing when you can't see each other.
Yeah, and there's like four of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and across different places as well.
But I was just gonna say, like when you're faster, generally speaking, you're gonna win more 50-50 chances because you're just gonna get there faster. Like I know Yuhal Yarvin, and he has 2020 pace and acceleration, and he won Rookie of the Year, and like I think last season he had the most interceptions in the league. So he doesn't even I don't even think he has 10 positioning. So like it really is like physical stats really do play a huge part, and I think you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You'll probably dominate.
Well, looks like with that first pick out of the way second. They're going over to the third pick, and it could be another midfielder to supplement, or could be a striker as well that Inter London takes.
I do know that in this offseason, Inter London did acquire a target forward in Baraka Eloisi, and he's going to be probably one of the more higher TPE players in Div 2, considering how the Div 1 arms race went this offseason. So they
Mhm.
have at least one striker there who's going to be pretty
Yeah,
competent. We're going to have to see if they go for a double striker system or if they try to build around them.
Yeah,
they
I
did
mean,
they did lose their wingers, so I
That is
think that
true.
might be a target for them. They lost Leon Kai, and Kay Clements did play as striker last season, but he also was a right winger as well. So,
yeah,
and those were their two top attacking players. So a pretty big loss there. They also lost Bud Light McGurrick, I think is how you say his name, and that's a center midfielder. And then I believe they're losing both their wing backs, so that might also be another area you might see is you might see wing back being drafted early on here.
them. Nessie is still with Inter London, and oh, I heard a jingle.
And
Well,
there it
that's
is. You called it.
well, the jingle means one thing. We have our pick in Jerry Sivic, Zenlos coming in, another striker, 13 finishing, 13 determination, playing the Undertale, and 11 first touch as well. Likes to love the keeper. This,
This is
He
going to
doesn't
be
look
a
a lot
fun
for
player
to be
down the
honest.
road.
Oh yeah, I love this. I love these kind of builds.
so do I. There, if I can get his stats up as well to
I
see
think it's
what.
safe to say out the gate, they're probably going to struggle a little bit. But the way this player is set up, they're going to look to be a very creative, very cheeky, like chip shot, highly technical striker. Once
Mm,
once they get their skills up a little bit more, once they get some players around them, this is going to be a fun player to watch.
What
indeed, they're
do
also
you know what
having
their
like
technique's at?
their technique is at their technique's at 10. They have 10 technique, 10
Oh okay.
dribbling, 11
I
first
mean
touch. I
those
see.
are okay. Once they get those up though, I can see that. I want to see the them chipping the keeper. That'll be fun. We've already seen that a
Oh,
bit.
I
Yeah, we
will
see
as
it from a
well.
few of them.
I think he'll play like the second striker, or at least further back behind Aloisi.
He does have the positional experience to play out on the wing or play in that central attacking midfield position. So he's a very flexible player where he can go pretty much anywhere they need them to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, you know what? If yeah, I could see him being a winger. To be honest, like an inside forward type,
It's
or
definitely a
a
good
winger
place to
where
start.
Mm.
yeah, where they have the creativity, but with the 13 finishing, they can still cut inside and get those shots off.
And it kind of makes it kind of means that London could line up a front three of Zvicki was Zvicki. I'm butchering the names. Sorry, Zenos. But could have a first line of Jerry, Aloisi, and Atreides who can fit on the right side.
Ooh,
They
that could be
also
fun.
got Letessier too, who's a striker and attacking mid. Could do
Oh,
a 4-2-3-1. Put
ooh.
Letessier behind the target man. Be the shadow striker. Got the inside forwards. Oh my god, it's gonna be dirty.
Mwah. Mwah.
I'm excited to see what teams are gonna do this year, including my own. I don't even know yet.
So I do have notes on this pick as well from TBC. She said Zenlos is a personal friend of mine and has been listening to me rave about the league since I joined. He's followed our progress all the way up and all the way down. I can't wait to have him involved, and I'm excited to see what Jerry can do in this league.
Yeah,
Well,
I definitely think this will be a solid pickup, and I mean, I think we all know that this is going to be probably a big draft in hindsight for under London FC. This draft class could
I
be
don't think
like
that's
the
a question at
core.
all.
Yeah, be really
interesting.
exciting to see what happens.
That's three big additions to their core already, and we're only halfway through the first
Mhm.
round.
Yeah, my fault. I forgot that the tissue was picked. So yeah, I am so
We
sorry.
have we have we have Montreal United next.
Montreal.
So it'll be exciting to see who they pick. I mean, it looks like they have 3 picks in the first round. Uh, 2 picks in the second round, so this will be a big draft for them too.
Oh, very big draft for them, and could affect how they move around. They still have some good players there as well in Montreal. Pop, for
Mm,
simplicity's sake, I always call Paris's Papa Leonidas, and I will call Montreal's Papa because I just can't. I can't with those names.
Well, that first pick is in, another central defender.
Yep, AJ Williams coming over to Montreal, and 10 all round. They're going very, very all rounder there. But the attributes comes in very well. Dives into tackles and marks opponent tightly.
Yeah, I mean, as a center back, I can see balance builds being good as long as you put up um, the right stats at the beginning of your career, like your defensive stats. I definitely think you want more than 10 jumping reach as a center back. I usually would suggest at least 13, but even higher than that, really. Um, but I think once you get those base stats down, one of the most important things for center backs is having, like a lot of balanced mentals, a lot of balanced physicals. You want to be strong and you want to be decently fast and jump in the air. And if you have the mentals, you don't really need to be that skilled as long as you can win the ball back.
There was a big focus on mentals with this player. Obviously, they went tens for anything that they deemed like important, and the majority of the mentals did come out to around 10. So it's going to be a very smart player in their rookie season,
High
and
IQ.
they can fill out their frame with as they develop, and it won't be
Yeah,
very difficult for them to become a very effective player.
I could see them
Yeah,
just
yeah,
just
exactly.
I could see them just growing very well there.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
just having that straight base. Like as you said, there are plenty of tens in the mentals: aggression, composure, concentration, positioning, teamwork, work rate. All of them important for a defender. I feel bravery
And
as well.
decisions, so they won't be making passes out to the wrong team when they're out there. They're gonna be smart and they're gonna be effective.
Pass this out to the wrong team. Oh dear, whoever had
And
that.
and honestly, having like good mentals with the dives and tackles is really good because dives and tackles doesn't mean they're gonna necessarily slide in all the time. It just means more so they're gonna be more of a like they're gonna challenge more often than not. 'Cause there are some defenders like I'm a center back and I'm more of the type of center back that I try to anticipate and intercept because I'm not the strongest guy on the pitch or I'm not the fastest either. But then there are those guys that just fucking go in and win balls. They go in,
Jeez.
they make their tackle and they have the high mentals. You won't see too many yellows and reds because they'll they'll go in smartly. They're not just gonna go flying in.
They pick their moments,
Yeah,
and it works out well for them.
very much so.
Yeah, exactly.
I just gonna take a break here. Just going to separate things. Something's just going around right now in chat, and I just had to have to look. In one of the mock drafts, one person is currently going 8 for 8 in the drafts.
No way. Hold on.
Holy
Perfect,
shit.
perfect for the first 8 rounds. Bibleman 19, he was also in the draft as well. The
What's the
fresh
user? I want to see this.
Bibleman 19, the current player Jake Justice, still waiting the aboard. So
Ooh.
is jeez, is time travel real? I think it could be. All I can say is just impressive work there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As a manager, um, this is one of the only times I haven't had a first pick in the first round, other than I think S3 draft. And no one ever gets my picks right. Like they're always so off. No offense to people. Sometimes people pick people I've never even heard of or met, and the first time I ever interviewed them or talked to them was like because they were a prospect. And then the people I do know, no one ever goes for those people, so I'm a little confused sometimes, but it's impressive really, really impressive to see 8 for 8, because not only have I seen people make picks that are way off of what I was going for, but even other managers that I knew at the time, roughly what they were kind of going for. I mean, I never really know, but sometimes you can kind of get a sense. This time, though, I'm not gonna lie. I had no clue who was going in the first 14 picks, so.
Well, you'll find out
Later.
now. And I'm afraid the streak will end here. But ASPB picks. Tim, Eto delivered the pizza ball. MCP, thank you very much for that.
Hey, good luck, commentators.
Oh, I hate
I
you as well.
know.
Okay.
I'll probably just call him Edo.
Fair enough.
Okay, I can say the full name of this one. It's not Papa Dup. It's not Papa.
Papadopoulos.
Fair.
Well, yeah, Eto delivered a pizza ball. Left side midfield, 12 acceleration, 12 pace, 12 crossing, and also a bully to referees. Okay, what did they do to you, man? Come on.
Actually, fun fact, Tim here, he started the first SSL Players Union. So that's a fun fact.
Oh,
If you look in the SSL general chat, there's like a union player demands or whatever.
yeah,
Because of him,
he is,
guys. He's the one that gave you that, so just remember that.
he is indeed officials' worst nightmare.
This is gonna be an interesting player to see how Paris utilizes them, because 39 of their 50 positional experience goes into playing on the left and right wings in the midfield, which is not a very common position in this league. So I think we're gonna see some interesting tactics if they're building some plans around Tim.
See, that's true. I have yet to see anyone use left and right midfielders in this league, so
I used them for that one season where I had the 3-4-3, but after that I went back to wingbacks. So it's I think that's the only time they've been used so far.
that's an interesting note. But yeah, MCP, remember he is indeed an SHL original.
Oh, absolutely. Like this is definitely gonna be a good user and a great player. But I'm curious to see where they're gonna be positioned on the pitch when they come out to play for their debut. It could be
Yeah,
at central defender. They have one positional experience there, so who knows?
Oh, you son of a gun.
they put one on their center back. Oh my god.
Yep.
I personally go to war with anyone who doesn't go the traditional 10, 20, 15, 15. Like I just can't. But
I
still,
went 20-15-15.
That's fair. I
that's
think
good.
15 is a good cutoff. That's where you can still get the majority of your skill
Mm.
out in that position.
13, honestly, in my case. Like I can probably see 13 getting by. Just
Oh,
not,
definitely.
yeah. But still, Steve Avia, Coach Leo, it's all up to you, my guy.
Yeah, I mean it'll be exciting though. Especially the looks for pass rather than score. So it looks like they're aiming to be more of a creative playmaking type.
Yeah, I do like that. I feel like the playmaking role is kind of underutilized on the wing there. So it would be cool to see more of that come out in our league.
Indeed,
Yeah,
indeed.
like wasn't one of the top wasn't the top person that got like the most assists a wingback last season?
It was. I think it was a wingback. Could be Jonas Fesenvitz, who is no longer on Tokyo. I'm very
It
sad
was
about
either
that.
that or yeah, it was either I think Jonas or oh my
Visser.
gosh, Ash Jeeves.
Oh, Ash
Yeah,
Jeeves as well is another
He
good
had a
one. Yeah.
lot.
there's a
DD
lot of
Yorker had a
the
lot.
crossing from deep out of the wing back, so you don't see a lot of the traditional like short pass playmaking that I think is what my brain immediately goes to.
That's fair. Well, my wingbacks are more like the cutback. Like we go all the way to the touchline and cut back to the top
Yeah,
of the box usually. Or sometimes we'll throw a traditional cross in or a low cross. But
right.
Fair. All right. Montreal back on the board, and this time picking a wingback themselves. Tom Pedersen. Tom Tommen going in with 13 crossing, 13 dribbling, and 13 passing. Actually, first time I've heard of this user, and I just thought, Tommen, is that you?
one of the few wingbacks in this draft. It's exciting to see them going to Montreal. I believe that they can make great use of a player like this, especially with the 13 crossing and 13 passing. They're going to be very effective at generating offense on the wings there.
You there? And if I manage to find what I lost, thank you. Oh wait, I had it here.
I think this player will be really exciting too, with a lot more speed. And like if you have really high speed, like pace, acceleration, work rate, oof, man, they would just be running that wing, that flank all day,
Oh,
attacking.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I personally am a huge fan of wingbacks. I love my wingbacks. I think my wingbacks are probably one of the consistently best players on the pitch for me, and they're not even my highest TP players. So I I honestly love wingbacks. I think the way with how I play personally, they're really crucial, and I think up until, you know, nowadays people always are like talking about it, but I feel like, I grew up watching Dani Alves and I was like, wow,
Oh,
no one was really doing that other than like Cafu and Roberto Carlos and a few other people. But nowadays, like everyone wants attacking wingbacks, and you rarely see a traditional fullback.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, confirmation that this is not Tommen. This is Tom Tommen. And interesting note as well. He has 15 on the left midfield, so I'm curious how he'll fit in as well, because he shares the same position as one of the papas as well. So yeah, interesting how he'll fill in there. Right, next up again is Buenos Aires. Already having picked Che Guevara for center defense. I think they'll probably want to sort things out elsewhere. Yep. Actually,
Left
Guevara.
defender.
Yep. Another defender. Adam Knight, running man 4-3-4 on the left side of defense. Marking 12, tackling 12, positioning 12. A knight of the box. Actually, not even a knight of the box. He's knight of the wing.
Zima did send me a little message about this pick. So Adam Knight was recruited by one of the Buenos Aires crew. They were highly recommended by multiple people, and he quickly became someone they took note of. And after they spoke with him, they understood what that was all about. He's a great person who's going to be there in Buenos Aires. He's going to be very happy to have such a great player at this pick.
Oh, Buenos Aires as well. I think just building in from behind will be a key thing for them.
Yeah, I think they're making a statement in this draft that they want to build out their defensive core, and I think any team that's worth their stuff, that's where you want to start, is at the back. So Adam Knight's going to be a big piece of that team going forward.
Indeed,
Yeah,
indeed.
personally, I think this is a good pick for them. At 12, like, I mean, they have all the right stats to be a defender out right away. Like, they'll be good right away. And I think most of the league has more like, in my opinion, attacking minded fullbacks. So, maybe this will help them be able to have, maybe three at the back and play one more attacking, one more defensive. Or, maybe they can use them as attacking fullback, but because they have such high defensive stats, they'll be better in terms of like helping keep less goals out and stuff.
We with you there. And honestly, I think it's best. Like any GM with the soul knows that a good defense builds the bedrock of any formation. Gets you those points instead of having a leaky defense that could just concede. No goalkeeper could handle that. So back to Sao Paulo, and well, if I need to flip over. I need more screens, old screens.
I know I need like 7.
Oh.
Um,
But
but
yeah,
yeah, I mean, so far it's been a really exciting draft. I think we'll see a lot happen. Um, like I
yeah.
think it'll be big,
My heart. Union Sao Paulo picking Jeff Newman. Luminosity fan, striker, and well, I'm sad because I would have liked him in Tokyo, but he's a very good guy from the times I seen with him. Pretty much a nice positive person around. And although tens all round, getting forward whenever possible, getting into opposition areas, has a mix of one who likes one complete striker.
I think a rounded forward build can be effective, and especially in Div 2. I personally think with forwards you want to look at specializing a little bit. Maybe this is what Newman was looking to do: is come in, have like cover all their bases, and then with those first few updates, really nail down what it is that they want to do in this league.
Oh, that's 100% gonna be the
Yeah,
case.
I'm not gonna lie, personally, I also am of the mind that I think early on, and I've kind of learned from my own uh mistakes, to be honest, that you really do kind of want them to specialize a bit early on, because I feel like if you do try to go for a balanced build or try to make them, like personally, I want to make a false nine, and it didn't really work that well because I just really didn't have the TP to make it really that effective. But I feel like advanced forwards, honestly, it's sad. It's just too easy. You don't need that much TP for it to be that effective. You just need to be really fast.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think that's to say that they won't be effective. It's just that right out the gate, having that specialization definitely helps. And fortunately, there's so many tools available to rookies to like kind of realign and redistribute what it is that they want to do, that they'll be fine no matter what they choose to do.
that's a fair assessment there. And well, something to note as well. Never, because I think we can always categorize to ones who specializes than one who is just all round. So like you can, if you cater to that one person who has a speciality in one area, they will use that area effectively.
Definitely.
Yeah. Did you like that thought? Well, yeah, Montreal United, their third pick in the first round. Gosh, okay, I've just seen Montreal and Inter. That's all I've been seeing recently.
Yeah. I mean, they really went out and made sure they were going to be in these drafts, so we're going to see a lot of them going forward and even in this round.
And well, they made a quick in. Pinot Noir. I think that's black grape in French. I'm probably wrong. Okay, I need to look this up. But Wolf
It's
grape,
a flavor of wine, as far as I'm aware.
it is wine, yeah. but indeed, serving himself a classy glass will be Wolf Gravy, striker going into Montreal. 12 positioning, 11 pace, and 11 dribbling. Another one who likes to move around there, moving into channels and placing shots.
Yeah, no, I think this is going to be a good player. Again, it's more rounded than most, but they've put enough into their specialization that I think they're still going to be effective there. I mean, I think that if you have a versatile threat up front, even if it's not like the best at one thing or another, as long as you have like those two options of a threat from one player, they can be a really dynamic threat for that team. And Noir offers that out of the box, so I think that they're going to be a very good pickup for Montreal here.
One thing I will add as well is that the moves into channel thing would fit so well with a Ramsdeuter, with a Thomas Muller like build.
Yeah, I don't think we've
Mhm.
seen that utilized
I
very much yet.
Oh, I actually want to
I've
try.
used it a few times, and I know Sydney have used it as well.
Okay, that's
But I
not against me, I
also
guess.
just want to point out, I uh I really like this user I interviewed, Pinot Noir too, and I mean, being a French player, I guess going to Montreal, you might need to get used to the Quebecois accent, but I think other than that, he'll fit in perfectly fine.
My heart, no.
And he seemed like a really good player too. Honestly, like a really fun user to talk to, and he seemed pretty passionate about his player, and yeah, I think they'll be like a really fun, exciting play. These are really, in my opinion, I love moves in channels personally, especially more so for wingers, because I like my wingers to cut inside and kind of move into that area, or like if I play Mazala, but it's also good for like strikers too, because then they kind of forces to move the defense a bit, because if the striker is moving into the channel, right, which is between the center back and the fullback, rather than being in between the center backs, then it kind of makes them shift their focus a bit more to one side and opens up the other side for like a late run. Personally, that's why I love those traits.
Yeah, it lets your offense be more threatening because as that
Ugh.
one player pulls more away, it lets your center midfielders or your opposite wingers come in and expose those openings that the striker will create.
Gotta love those. Oh, new pick coming in, and well, I'm gonna force Jess into this. Jess, bring yourself in. You're delivering this one.
Wait, what?
You're saying this one. I'm bringing you in right now for Tokyo selection.
All right, unexpected, but yeah, Tokyo will select Shinji Kaido. That's fresh. I don't know how to talk about the football thing, so I'll tag you back in there.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah. Attacking midfield, right side, 13 crossing, 13 passing, 12 dribbling. In a way, reminds me a bit of Shion Okamoto back in season 1 when we had them around.
Just
Well,
looks like
yeah,
a really good playmaking winger. The 13 crossing, 13 passing, 12 dribbling. They're going to be holding onto the ball. They're going to be able to distribute very well. And with tries killer balls often, they're going to be finding those through lanes as often as they can. There's going to get a lot of assists.
indeed. And the thing is, they can work on both sides as well, which is going to be very interesting for Tokyo since our great old mate here, Jess, she and gonna Soderbergh, she can also play on the right side. So I can see it working very well, bringing in huge crossing balls to Skyrise in the center of the box.
Yeah, that is a purpose-built player for Skyrise. Just good playmaking, great crossing. Like he's going to find his head at any possible opportunity.
Indeed, it's an absolute beautiful pick there. And that finishes the first round there. And
Yeah, I mean, except for that one guy who apparently went 8 for 8 right off the rip, I don't think anyone really was able to tell how this round was going to shake out. There was a lot of really good users in this draft, so it's hard to really pin down who's going where.
oh, very much so there.
Yeah, I
And
definitely agree.
Oh, we have a
saying that
trade?
trade as well. Alright then. So Buenos Aires sending the 22nd overall and the next round Cairo second to Sydney for Sydney's 15 overall. A good trade up. Sending assets one way to another. Looks like Buenos Aires has an idea of who they want in a certain position, and well, they're looking eager.
Yeah, at 15 overall, you're just out of the first round. I don't think the price is going to get much lower than that. I love that for Buenos Aires. If they have a target there, that was a great move to make.
Yep, and I like that for Sydney as well, seeing that they're looking to absolutely go in for the first pick. Well, I'm going in for the first season of the Pro. So they don't mind stocking up for next as well. They could find a guy they like further down.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think
me and G2 are pretty intimately familiar with the arms race we went on with this season, so just emptying out the picks, I think, was definitely part of the plan there.
also, the guy that went 8 for 8, he went 10 for 14.
Wow.
Absolute.
that's really impressive.
Bibleman 19. What? I swear, Nostradamus right here. Well, you'll have to wait for now for your pick as Grayson Yates goes over to Buenos Aires with the 15th overall they just acquired. That's our take on the left side of midfield.
Another one of those left center I'd say left central, but left midfielders that we don't see a lot of in this league. I think it'll be interesting to see if this draft starts to make that more common. 'Cause we've seen a lot of these players go so far, so we might see a lot more of the midfield wings, maybe more traditional 4-4-2s come out.
Oh no.
Also,
No.
they didn't announce. I guess because it's not directly related to the draft, but Buenos Aires actually made 2 trades.
Oh, did
They
they?
made one with Catalonia, where I sent my S6 third rounder to them for Jimin Villa,
That's an
Mm.
which is
interesting move.
Villa
yeah,
to
I mean,
Catalonia.
he's the only other Catalan in the entire league.
Oh no,
He's he is an AI wingback, but I mean, I'd rather have him than a bot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mhm.
Especially since, players get injured sometimes. So I have two AIs on my bench that are just defenders in case of injuries.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Catalunya is in a position where they don't necessarily need to be bringing in rookies. So moving the pick out for a player who can contribute right away does make a lot of sense.
It certainly does.
Yeah, and honestly, I actually know the user, so I just want them in my LR, even if they're not ever gonna be active again. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I could see you pulling some shenanigans
Catalonia
there.
is like half like Max Earners, half like good vibes.
The best way to build a team as far as I'm concerned.
All big brain. Also to note as well, Yates able to play on both sides as well.
I
So
think that versatility is very good. We've seen a lot of players come in who have that positional like flexibility, and it makes it harder to game plan against a team when you have players who are able to do that. So being able to bring someone in who can flip flanks is very good.
very much so. Going back to South Africa, Kapstad on the block or on the clock. Pish posh.
Kapstad, I think they tried to be a bit more competitive in their first season, whereas Sao Paulo definitely went and tried to acquire a lot of picks. Capstad's only had the one so far. This is their second of the draft. I think they're going to try and be competitive right away.
I can see that, yeah.
Gonna have to watch them.
Well, I don't have to watch them.
Well, I mean, you
Actually,
don't
no.
have to.
No, actually, no. I take that back. I will have to watch them. I'm commentating. What do I mean?
You'll want to watch them there. That's better phrasing.
Yeah. But still, I am knowing that the Capstad already picked up. Yep, they picked up a striker. Could they go for another striker?
I believe they could. I think having a dual striker system, especially down in the lower division, is threatening to say the least.
Very strict
Yeah,
friendly.
I like playing a 4-4-2 diamond, and I found that pretty effective. I mean, Mojo, Rising, and Dogwood Maple both got double-digit in goals.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's definitely possible if you have, like, for instance, like every other player pretty much on my team is like a creative playmaker. So I was like, well, why not just throw 2 strikers in the front and just have everyone like throw passes at them? Eventually
Oh,
they'll score.
absolutely.
Well, instead of no need for strikers, only goalies, and they're going in for Kazenga Lualua. I'm Satan Jr. heading over to Capstad, and that should be their number one as well, seeing that Roberta, unfortunately, IA, I believe, unless they can come back. But Lualua coming in to fill in that number one role, having in an active goalie, that would be very good for the longevity of the team.
I don't have a lot of knowledge on goalie builds, but it seems like being well-rounded would be good. And I'd imagine that Capstad is going to bring in users that they are familiar with and has spoken to. So I'm sure that they've talked to Satan and gotten a passionate player who's going to want to be there.
I believe so as well. But I also think that, again, goes back to all-rounder speciality. Lalua is indeed like all-rounded, pretty much all there. 10 aerial reach, 10 first touch, 10 passing and tendency to touch. Got the reflex to 10. However, they won't be going out of the box much. They have a 7 there, have a 7 to eccentricity as well, and 7 to command of area. Definitely a more traditional goalie compared to being a sweeper keeper that could probably contribute to the gameplay.
Oh,
Any
I mean,
thoughts?
sweeper
sorry,
keepers
Loki,
are
I
definitely
thought it was
nice, but having a
Sorry.
traditional goalkeeper is definitely also good. Having a guy who can lock down in front of the crease there is going to be something that you're going to want.
I would one day, if I could, I would like to try including a sweeper keeper in the.
I think it's a fun position. It definitely
Mm-hmm.
puts a lot of pressure on your shoulders, though.
Yeah, it actually would put a lot of pressure on you to having sweeper keeper. But if you can rise up to it, it makes it all the more worth it because that makes it more 11 versus 10, brings in the extra piece where you can just contribute.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know someone was asking me actually earlier about like, um, for awards, like why should goalie distribution be important when it's more of a tactical thing than a stat thing? And I mean, it is kind of like, yeah, because like the person that has like the best distribution in the league isn't even necessarily better in their distribution attributes than the other goalkeepers. But at the same time, like they are contributing more to their team. Like their shot stopping is almost just as good as the rest of the people in the league, like the top players in the league. And
Mm-hmm.
if their distribution's like significantly better, then it's like that's that that's helping their team more. Like they're not giving away the ball as much. They're not, their team's not having to defend as much. They're able to keep the ball and do more with it. I don't know. For me, it just I always I think shot stopping is probably easier to do at the beginning, but I'm really biased. I love my sweeper keepers. I don't play goalies.
Well, Catalonia, it's in your DNA. Okay, everyone, look. Bible Man has been picked up. Let's go. Let's
Prophet.
go. After going into the infernal pits and talking with Satan, we now have the Bible among us. Bible Man 19, Jake Justice, striker, heading over to Montreal United, and they are very much specialized for that pace on
Oh,
them.
this is a fun build. Attempts overhead kicks, 13 technique. This is a striker who's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Could we see goal of the season from them?
I don't know about this year. I think they might need a little more a seasoning before we actually see an overhead goal. But I believe that once they get there, the goal of the year has to go to him at some point.
Oh yeah. But Tutankhamen. Oh. But yeah, no. Biberman has that absolute pace on him. I don't think he has a dribbling technique yet. He has a 10. He could definitely build on that though. But we can safely presume that he is there to score goals. He is there to make sure that all the goals are his. Has the off ball on him. He has a decent amount of decision making and composure. Definitely buildable. Has that 12 finishing on him.
I think those mentals are going to be what sets them apart. The off the ball and the anticipation and all that.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the highest, but he's going to know where to be at every time. He's going to be very hard to lock down on defense.
Oh, very much so.
I agree. I feel like off ball, anticipation and like composure are probably the most important.
Definitely.
And a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on on finishing, which is really important, obviously, if you want to score inside the box. But the thing is like technique is like how well you can do with like in kind of disadvantaged situations in a sense. Well, maybe not disadvantaged, but like if the ball is bouncing, right? Like a higher technique means you'll be able to shoot it better, or like a first time shot, or a volley, or making a more difficult pass or something like technique helps make all those other technical stats even better in a sense.
Yeah.
God, I can't
And
wait for him.
being a box player.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, never mind. We have a trade.
New trade
This
coming
is
in, and
wow.
this is a good one.
This is a big trade.
What has Scotty been working on behind the scenes here? You've
Me2's been quiet a little too long, huh?
He has been. He has been. Gee, I need you to explain on
Alright.
this one.
Yeah, so we've been trying to trade in for quite a while. You haven't heard me on stream much because I'm reaching out to team after team, just trying to get in. We were able to strike a deal with Buenos Aires. They sent us 18 overall and their second rounder for next season, or our first rounder for next season.
That is a. Whew,
That is huge.
That's
Yeah, there was
quite
a player. Actually, there are a few players left that we think very highly of, and we think they, have that first round value. So for us, it's kind of a no brainer to get in.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't doubt it for a second. There's so much talent in this draft. If you've got guys who you have faith in, a first is nothing to get them.
100%, 100%. So I am now eager to see what you picked up. Oh, okay. I like it. I like this pick. Giacomo Carbone, Pythonic left midfield, going over to Kiowa City. 12 first touch, 12 decision, and 12 vision on them. That's a great pick.
So we obviously Trilla knows Pyth very well, and actually the inside joke in Cairo is that Efine actually just made the comment that we're basically SHL and SMJHL GM chat without the head office oversight. So we add another GM from over there. So that will mean, let me just look at our users here. That will mean I just left as a JGM. Pythonic is an SHL GM. We have COA, who's an SHL GM. Bfine was an SHL GM. Trella is an SHL GM.
Blues fan?
Heath is an SHL GM.
Gabe, you have Gabe.
DK, he's an SHL GM. Henrik's been a GM. Rice has been a GM. So yeah, it's kind of crazy just how that's kind of worked out.
You have Gabe though. You have Gabe though, so you automatically lose on there.
No, we've just kind of ended up with this team full of a lot of SHLers, and it's great vibes, and it's good people who are committed to the cause, and obviously building up from where things were left in Cairo when they finished last to being able to get that 5th place finish. We're gonna try to continue to go strong, and even though we made some moves and moved some picks to contend right away and work to compete in that top division, we still have to have an eye on the future and couldn't pass up the chance to bring Pythonic in. So super excited about it.
That future is gonna come in very good there. Cool. I mean, I already like the pick, but I'm also just now look, I'm just stunned by how many high notable SHLers you have there. Well, back on the board is Ador Accra. And well, their team's filling out pretty nicely there. With that recent pick of Coleman.
Yeah, I think Coleman's gonna be a good pickup for them. As they can continue to build around that, they'll be in a good place.
100% they will be. But they could always make improvements as well. There are certain areas I could see movements, and well, midfield was one of them. Tommy Tykepence going over to Adwa Accra. Tied them up, man. Make sure that everyone. Actually, no. Let me not. It was not going the right place. But yeah, center midfield. 13 acceleration, 13 pace, 13 first touch. Titus all hell on those touches.
And honestly, this looks like a really exciting player. Gets forward whenever possible and plays 1-2, so I can see them being like, a creative attacking mid. Even if they're played in the center midfield, I can still be them being more of like a center midfielder on attack, or a Mazzala, or advanced playmaker or something, and being able to kind of push up
He
but
could
still come back deep.
he
I
could
think
also be the attacking midfield. That's why got 20 there, and he has 13 decision making. So he has a keen eye on him, the absolute smarts on him to make those decisions, which will be very interesting for Aqua since they have two outlets that he can go through, Feltz and Selic.
I think you give this player a couple seasons and put them in RPM in the central midfield, they're going to be a threat. They are very much oriented to be a creative player, and letting them kind of just sit in that hole in the midfield and distribute, they're going to be dangerous.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be.
Yeah, I was actually in the LR with them in Newfoundland, and honestly, he was an awesome user. I'm pretty sure he's the reason why we even. Oh no, I don't think so. Never mind. But he was I know he used to post a lot in like the fitness and health, and was like really encouraging. But not only encouraging, but also he's really knowledgeable. So not only is he a good LR person just for like random league stuff, but I mean he's just like a good person to be around for just like other stuff in life too that you guys can talk about.
Yeah,
Does he lift though?
You remember when Newfoundland blew a 3-1 lead in the 4-Star Cup Finals to Detroit?
What the
No,
hell
I
is this
can't
going
hear you.
on?
I can't hear you over my 4-star cups. Sorry, I got too many.
Shut, get out.
I got 4. I can't see you guys. They're blocking my view.
Cringe. Away with this. Gosh damn it. I'm sorry, Raptors, but then again, Raptors did get a 4-star, so if I remember right. Well, back to Inter London, however. Oh yeah, Busquets also has an SSL Cup. Actually, wait, no. Busquets has an SSL Cup, but I think G
Yeah, I
also
do have
has.
an SSL cup.
You have a league championship?
Do you have
No.
all 3?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Amateurs.
Yeah, Namlet knows what's up, yo.
Nam knows, Jess knows, Grady knows. But someone else who could know what to do is TVC with Inter London.
Yo, you want to hear a fun fact?
E?
Cairo's never beaten Catalonia in their entire history.
I'm going to research
Unfortunately,
that.
That's a fun
Next
fact.
This is
season.
a hostile call all of a sudden.
I am going to research that and actually make sure I get the head-to-head lineups. I want to know now. In fact, if I get the free time and I know that things are going to calm down soon enough, I'm going to go to do a head-to-head with all teams so far.
Love it.
I can pull
I-
head-to-head for Catalunya
I-
like right now.
I guarantee you they've never beaten me.
I want to see it. Although I also don't want to be lazy, and that's my biggest issues.
It's completely blocked out of my memory.
The only head-to-head I remember, because I just wanted to, was Tokyo are currently 4-3, 4-3-1 against Hollywood. And I remember that because for the most time, Hollywood were the top team and Tokyo were just wildcard. And it was always fun to see us taking points from Hollywood.
I actually remember those days.
So Omni's fun fact was correct. Since Catalunya's been around, the worst result they've had against Cairo is a 1-1 draw.
Let's
my
go!
Not even an original team. It was from season 1.
Salt.
We'll get you this coming season. Don't you worry.
You don't have
I
to
know,
be an
I'll
original
cry.
team. Come on, man.
We're only season 2, so that's still 3 seasons worth of results.
He's right. There's 3
Only one
seasons.
season against me, baby.
I pick coming in from Inter London, and that's Scott Muffin heading over to the Big Ben. I actually need to come up with better nicknames for some teams, but still, like, hey, tell me some like, after this pick. But yeah, Scott Muffin, he was a rather good user if I remember right, at least from word of mouth. Winger, crossing 13, technique 12, another one who wants to bicycle kick. And is very aggressive going forward as well. Well, this is an interesting pick there for Inter London.
Yeah,
This isn't. Sorry.
you go ahead.
This is another person I interviewed actually, Scud Muffin. Um, this is a really fun user. They seem really interested in the league, and honestly, I think it's a great pick. I actually thought they were gonna go earlier in the draft. So I think this is a kind of a steal, to be honest.
Indeed. Indeed. And also seeing that they have lots of bases at 10. Obviously the crossing and technique being their specialty means that you'll throw them out trying to get in as deep and as wide as possible. As a winger, I would want them to have that dribbling on them, but technique is probably one of the most key things to have as a midfielder, be it on the wing or attacking, or even just as centre mid. Like if you have that technique on you, you'll be able to throw out some rather interesting plays there. I then so into London picking up a winger for themselves, and I actually think rounds out the team pretty well. I said earlier that Atreides could play wing. Well, he might not need to play wing at all. He could stick in his natural centre mid, and yeah.
I think that's another one of those players where London sold everything off. They lost a lot of their forward core. They're looking to build that back up, and I think that's a really good fit for London. That player's going to do a lot there.
Oh, he will, and it's going to
Agreed.
solve things as well for them.
It'll be really exciting to see them moving forward. I mean, they got Tata Yore, which is like, probably gonna play Light. They got 2 strikers, a winger, and they lost K Clements and uh, Lian Kai, which are both former best 11 recipients. So, like, literally some of the best players in the league.
Mm-hmm. But if it means that they can make some good moves for themselves, then it'll all be worth it. Saying that though, they have 21 as well, so they could round out another area of their roster as well. If they solve their forward core, they could go for midfield as well. Currently there, currently, yeah. I mean, Tata Yori coming in at centre mid helps a lot, and they still have Atreides, I've mentioned, and Gavin Miller in the centre mid, so they could be alright in mid, but they could also just want one more just to round things off. Or defense as well, but actually, I'm not sure. Time is still there, and they recently got Steel to pick up on the other side, I believe. So, and then the obvious rock solid duo of Donnarumma and Nessie as well.
Yeah, they're very well situated on the back end, so they're going to be able to utilize a lot of their rookie talent to be the more creative players, and I think that's good, especially in Div 2. It gives you more space to try and be creative.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll definitely be one of the easy favorites going into the start of the season for automatic promotion. Actually, I gotta reread the rules. I don't know if it's playoff or automatic for the
I
first team.
think it was automatic if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I think first team's automatic and then second and third playoff battle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would
I
imagine
think. I
like
have to
second would
reread the
be.
rules.
The promotion is automatic for the first and second,
Oh,
Oh,
and
there's no
relegation for the
battle at
last
all.
and second last.
there's no playoffs.
There are no playoffs.
There are no playoffs in
Oh,
the
Yeah.
current rules, at least. We thought to make it simple in the beginning, as we're moving
Sorry.
to an entirely new system.
It's fair.
well, this is
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
fair.
this is gonna be interesting. It makes it all the more to play for.
Yeah, there are no games that don't matter. There's no room for error. You have to be top of the league, or I guess not bottom two of the league, or you don't get to stay.
This
Yeah,
is an
which I
exclusive.
mean,
It's an
sorry.
exclusive zone. You d-
It is going to be really hard because every team in the first division pretty much has like improved.
It's a pretty level playing field all around, I'd say. There's no teams that you can like really peg as an automatic relegation candidate.
Yeah, like last season, there were definitely some teams that were easier to play against than others, but I think this season will be a lot harder for one team to just dominate.
Yeah.
even
And we got trade.
yep. And well, this is a rather simple one. Tokyo sending in the second round next year for Inter London. Okay, I can probably say this since I'm in the war room, but at the same time, I don't. But still, like Tokyo, very interested in one player in particular, and since it's their pick coming up next, well, I'm gonna have to wait for the screen to pop up there. And no, I will not throw just onto it this time. Well, still, as we await, come on, candidates.
Disrespect.
I know. Rip.
I am eager. I want to say it because I believe I have an idea of who it is. Who is it? Who is it? Yep. Alright then. W Rude coming over to Tokyo. C-Mac 8, left side midfield. Got 15 long shots, 13 composure, 12 acceleration. And yep, it's who I thought. And C-Mac is a very good guy. Currently with him in PBE with Boise Raptors. And from my interactions with him, he has been very fun to be with, very nice as well and supportive, and he will fit in very well with the Tokyo crew. Jess can also attest with C-Mac as those two were GMs with each other.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a
Am I being
exciting
tagged in
winger.
again?
You can come right in if you want.
No, C-Mac's one of my favorite people from PBE. Was really excited to see him come over here because I don't think he's in any other leagues, but pumped that we were able to get him this late.
Let's go.
And that build's gonna be really good out the box. The 15 long shots, shoots with power. He's gonna be ripping it from outside the box every opportunity he gets.
Oh, 100%. In
He
fact,
has composure too. Sorry.
I actually don't need to worry about trying to rip from long as well. I can just focus on passing. Yay. But yeah, like 15 long shot. He can play left mid or attacking left. So he is very well rounded for those roles. And well, I thought that Gunnarsson would be slotting in on one side. Looks like it could be a line of of line of Rude, Rice, and Kaido. I actually have an idea what formation we could be pulling.
You start
Send
leaking
me,
secrets.
yeah, send me
I-
in the DMs.
No war room secrets on the stream.
No leaks, no leaks. Unless I like maybe Venmo you, PayPal perhaps.
You have to Venmo me in pounds, and pounds are bigger than dollars. You know that.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I can swing it. I think.
I
Anyway,
need the leaks the most.
no, Dewey. Maybe later. No, but anyway, Sydney City coming in and picking up. He ain't just any supervillain. He is the supervillain. Megamind coming over there, warrior of Masalia. Center defender, jumping reach 14, marking 14, tackling 14. Good luck getting behind him. He's rock solid right there. He's probably gonna be the no nonsense defender that you can just rely on.
It's another out of the
Yeah,
box build that I really enjoy. I don't think I got a chance to chat with the user, but the player that they've built is going to be again just effective immediately.
so I have quote notes here from Sydney City. I don't really know what to do with this, but this is their notes. To buy bread, milk times 3, half a dozen eggs, sausages, bacon, cathedral cheese, chocolate cake times 5.
Is that
Those
breakfast?
are the notes.
But can you DM me that note? I actually want to go through them.
Sure.
So confused by that.
Send me them links.
I don't know what to do with that, but that's what I was given. So, you're welcome, I guess. Sydney City.
I think Megmine might be wanting an English breakfast. That's the only thing that comes through my mind. Wait, if he wants an English breakfast, why didn't he get picked up by Inter London? What's an Australian breakfast? Is it tarantula, python, kangaroos?
Probably could include some kangaroo. I'm pretty sure that's a hunted for sport there, or not for
Mm,
sport, for population control. But
actually, no, emus. Now you say
oh,
that.
emus is gonna break out the old emu war.
Hey, they still have the Lewis guns hidden right there for any time they need to fight them emus.
Special forces come out.
Adam, mate, you're going right on the ship of Barbie. Back to AS baby though. And Tokyo will keep drafting your favorite players, Reno. Wait, hold on,
Renault's sad.
Wait,
I'm
which
sorry,
Reno
Renault.
then?
Just Renault.
Okay, good, because we have Reno and then Pokemon Reno.
Yeah, it's just Renault.
Well, yeah, so AS Perry back on the block.
I love you, Renault.
Reno, I don't love you. You're a good friend. Saying that though, going through the selections right now, they're sorted on forwards, 100%. I could see a goalie being one of their big needs as well.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I don't know how many times Steve's asked for goalies, but
Oh,
I know that he wants an active goalie. That's definitely one of the things on his list.
the
Reno, sorry.
I can already attest to that feeling. I can already attest. I feel bad there. Alright, saying that though, there are a few goalies out there that could be picked up. Oliver can't stop goals, but Oliver can't stop shots. been available. King Shorak, Horace Lynch. All three of them still available on the board for ASP.
I believe 2 of those keepers were part of last season's draft. So if you're looking for an active keeper, you might be swinging and missing on those 2.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's a very good point. Ah.
The
Well, then
wait is definitely getting more painful between the picks.
And I think that's because there's a deal being made right now.
Oh yeah, no, everyone's definitely gonna try and work out side deals. If you have any target left, you want to be moving in on that. And there's a lot of people who just don't want to be in the draft anymore. So the talks are definitely heating up.
Yeah, I feel like for some people, there's definitely people you want, and then for others, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with what I have, especially if you're maybe a bigger team.
Right.
You might have to be forced to loan out players if you can't play them all, right? So you don't want to end up drafting too many.
Yeah, there is such a thing as having too many bodies on a roster.
There is.
For sure.
Although I don't think there's a cap system, is there?
There's not a player
there-
cap, there's salary
is.
cap.
No,
There's player cap?
there's 18. I believe is the number.
18 mil.
Cole,
what
are
should
you
I
a
look-
manager?
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe. I could be.
I can safely say that.
Honestly, there's so many rules, man. Like I'm not gonna remember them all. I'm sorry.
Look,
I
also
read the rule books, but especially
Did
when
you just
it
unmute
pertains
to
to
out me
me.
like
But
this?
like,
Come on, man.
yeah, I'm not gonna front like I know all the rules, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I've
look,
never been in a
It's like,
position where I
don't.
needed to be aware of a player cap, to be fair.
for
I
us four, I'm the only one who doesn't need to worry about manager stuff because I hate a manager or GM. I mean, yes, if we include Candidates and Jess, Candidates as well, but Candidates, Omni, Cole, G, look, you have your jobs. My job's just to troll on you whenever you make the bad decisions.
And you know what? You don't do it enough. I'm sick
That
and
is
tired of it. Be
that is
harder
actually
on me.
challenge accepted. But
Actually,
also,
don't. You're my favorite. Don't do that.
alright.
You always. I think you're the nicest commentator when it comes to Catalonia. You always give us the nicest compliments since day one. I'll take
Thanks,
it.
man.
I love you.
Hey, I have to balance it with Jiggly. But still, like, Trey coming in with Paris. This 23rd overall going out to Buenos Aires for waiver wire spot and the 3rd overall pick. Okay, that tells me 2 things right there. 1, Paris is unsuccessful getting a goalie in this draft. 2, the waiver wire spot will mean that they'll pick up a goalie from the waivers. So they'll still get value out of it. 3rd round for next year. But 23rd overall means that Buenos Aires is getting their pick. And they're going to be interested in what to pick up as well. There's still some good picks available out there. Yep, and there it is. Oh, Mauricio Babilonia, Radio Arcade going over to Buenos Aires. Defensive midfielder, 15 passing, 15 positioning, and 12 acceleration.
I believe this is Raid the Arcade's 3rd player in 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh.
They're built very well to play as like a deep line playmaker in that D mid position. So assuming that they will be active this time around, that's an exciting pickup, especially this late in the draft.
Mm-hmm. Honestly,
Sorry, I was just gonna say I love this player because this is kind of like similar to my build. It's a defensive midfielder, but obviously with the 15 passing, they're not gonna be a ball winning midfield. They're there to help build up the play from the back, and we see Buenos Aires selecting a lot of defenders, so I think personally building from the back's a pretty good idea, and having a guy that can be creative and get that ball to they have Gorka, for instance, and like oh my
Gorkov is
gosh,
there.
yeah, with
Tali.
Vanderslav.
Yeah, Vanslav's
He's
there. Gorkov. Tali, who has one of
hmm
the best long shots in the league, whilst only having 10 long shots. Like, how do you do it?
So obviously, this guy right here, Mauricio, is gonna help kind of bring it from the back to the front
Um,
and give it more to the creative players.
so we do have a slight issue. This is the player card we have in front of us is the player that Raid the Arcade has retired. So the actual prospect is not this player.
Wait, what?
Raid the Arcade has a player in this draft, but it is Aurelio Buendia. The player on screen, Mauricio Babilonia, has been retired and is not a player in this league.
Just wait 5 more seconds.
Will do.
Okay then.
These are the issues we run into when a player creates twice
It's
before the draft.
Aurelio Buendia.
The player
Mauricio-
doesn't seem to be moved to the retired section of the forum yet.
Oh, okay, that would
but
explain it.
now the information should be correct.
There
Yes.
he is.
This is still a really sick build, though. I don't really
Absolutely.
get the refrains from taking long shots personally. But the moves in the channel is really good for attacking mid, especially when they have 15 vision and passing first touch. You basically just give it to them, and they can be the person that give you the final ball.
I almost want to say this player could operate as an enganche in that central midfield role. They have
He
really
could-
good passing, really good first touch. They don't need to move around a whole lot. They can just distribute, and they'll be good out of the box.
100% he can work as an enganche, although just a simple attacking mid will work. Advanced playmaker, more to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, vision is 100% there, so is the passing. Has a bit of dribbling on him, and has his physicals working at base. So yeah, even though he's definitely not going to take long shots, so I wouldn't put him in as an attack, as a second striker per se.
Right.
But definitely as like a more passing attacking mid, like Meza Özil a little bit.
Yeah. If you really wanted to, that 10 positional experience in striker, you could even flex him as like a false 9 or something. Because that
Oh.
distribution, he could sit deep there and just feed your wingers like crazy.
True there. You could also slot him out wide on the right side.
It's a very versatile player. I think that BA is going to get their money's worth with him.
Oh, he certainly will. Especially after assassinating Mauricio Babilonia.
Had to take him out back real quick. Nobody really knows he was there.
Wait, I have camera footage of Babilonia just having a conversation with Aureliano. Just there was casual talk. Hello there. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Mi amigos. Hello, ¿cómo estás? Bien, gracias. And then came out the unfortunate images that we cannot describe in detail. But yeah, that's how it went around. Aureliano heading over to Buenos Aires and pretty much giving them a highly specialized build.
Yeah, I mean, with how specialized this player is, that's a good pickup regardless of activity level because they're going to be good and stay good even at the base level.
Oh, 100%. Ivan, and over back to South Africa for Kapstad. It's getting late into the draft, we also have to remember that options are going down a bit. Now, any thoughts on any needs that could be filled in?
I'm not really sure. Okay, like at this stage in the draft, a lot of teams have filled like their holes pretty early, and the players that are left are going to be potentially fitted into a starting slot, but at this stage in the game, the teams look pretty complete, so they could be just rotating through the lineups here, trying
Could be.
to
Oh, there we
build
go.
up security.
There we go. SC Capsa collecting Adriana Tokino Nagatoro Maradona.
Another fun name for the commentators there, eh?
Okay, I don't need to say much about it. This is my colleagues.
I know,
Jiggly.
I know. No, Jiggly's gonna be great for them. They were a very passionate player when they were on my team. They're going to be a lot of fun to work with.
Oh yeah, indeed, we're passionate there. Indeed, fun to commentate with as well. And I know that Omni, would you like anything to talk about with what you like to do with Nagatoro Maradona?
I mean, they have a good traits. Runs with ball through center, tries to play their balls often as attacking mid. So I feel like they'll be a good attacking playmaker, or more of a dribbly creative type. Yo, y'all trying to just egg me
What's
on,
going
yo.
on here? What's that?
Yo, Jiggly and I have our differences, but I want them to do well in the league. I mean, they have a really creative player. Okay, let's be real. I like the name. I want them to do well in the league.
I think that was the biggest
I
thing for them when Jiggly recreated. They mentioned to me that they weren't really super invested in their current player, and I think that with Ariadna, they're going to be a lot more invested with that because they have a story there. They've built on a player they're passionate about, and I think that they're going to have a good time with that.
100%. That's the same thing he told me as well. With Nagatoro Maradona. I honestly think you have. Oh yeah. Sorry.
I was just gonna say nothing. Because I know you guys are like kind of like low key egging me on here, but okay, like I really want Jiggly to stay in the league. I want them to be active. I personally didn't think they would even want to be on my team in the first place.
Yeah, no, of course.
And I think them going on a new expansion side, they can maybe help this manager. They're obviously, they know the game. They're obviously passionate about like not just Football Manager, but like football in general. And if that can help keep an active LR and they can be like a good presence, and that I'd rather that than them not be in the league at all or just be AI, especially when they're commentating and they're already doing stuff every week for the league. I mean, they deserve to have a player on a team, and they deserve to be in the league as well. And I know we don't always see eye to eye on things and stuff like that, but they have every potential to be a top earner in their class, and they could be a difference maker for this team in the future. Who knows?
They absolutely could. I think probably going to an expansion side is the best possible situation for them. It's a fresh start for everyone involved.
100% there. So I just wanted to joke around there because of how things are. But I don't think Jiggly would have been amiss to join you either way. I just wanted to troll around because. Well, yeah. Nagatoro Maradona, name too big for the screen right there.
I just noticed that when you pointed it out. That was the longest name in the draft.
It is indeed. And wanna have fun.
Potentially big player.
Could be this. I think the second longest name in the league, right behind G Fuel.
Yeah, definitely behind. Okay, I'm getting his name up again because, yeah, definitely behind a singular tub of Fastberry G Fuel energy drink formula, the official drink of esports.
We're getting the whole spiel, huh?
I had to.
Fair enough. Can't blame you.
Yeah. But yeah, with Nagatoro Maradona over to Capstan, have fun there as well, man. You have fun there. I actually will be interested in your journey. Into London, we'll be heading over to pick up the next player.
Well, we saw Inter London move their last pick, so we might be seeing them do the same here. It's just a matter of time to see what they're gonna do.
Oh yeah. Name's still available. And correct me if I am wrong there. Nathan Claflin is still available, Green Bay Nathan. Who else is around? Josh Berger, the Bugs. That's a goalie. Although I don't think Inter London needs a goalie right now. Hannah Solari is still around. Ronaldo De Silva, Luis Barano. Still some names that could be picked up from this year's draft. Jaden Valvano is also around. So there's still some people you can definitely shoot around in the second round.
Yeah, there's definitely still talent there. A lot of it is on the attacking side of the ball, so I'm not sure if Inter will even have a reason to be going for that. Just because you see strikers, you see wingers, central midfield maybe, but for the most part here, they're filling positions that Inter is probably not interested in looking at. So a move here I think would make the most sense for them.
Certainly could. If they had to pick up anyone though, as well. Honestly, attacking isn't really a bad option, but at the same time, all the moves they had made earlier and then dropped has been picking up attacking players.
Exactly.
Sveci around, Rube's Tokyo, Scott Muffin as well. Like they have picked up well in midfield and striker. Another center midfielder would be great, but as well, I think defense isn't as bad of an option to pick up as well, simply because Donnarumma can fill in at defensive mid.
It would definitely give them more flexibility if they were able to acquire a defender here. Unfortunately, there aren't any left in the draft except for a lockdown from season 4's draft. So
No.
no,
Jaden Valvano is still available in the draft. Oh, he plays on a wider.
Jaden Valvano, I believe, was not eligible for the draft. They are going to be a waiver player for the start of the season. Yes.
Yes, they were approved after the cutoff for draft eligibility.
Oh, okay. See stuff here when I'm just finding things out as a regular person.
Yeah. So they'll be a hot commodity once the draft wraps up. I imagine they're going to be going to Kapstad, as they will have the first waiver position, and this player is created very early in the class, so they will be happy to pick them up.
Saying that though, aforementioned Kalafin could be picked up as well. Midfield, which is another place that they could always fill in.
Yeah, I think you can never really have a shortage of central midfielders. Sao Paulo has made that very apparent with their 12.
We say that he's a left mid, and his is going to be extremely interesting as well, because I imagine that a reset might be needed for him, simply because positional experience is very interesting. 20 left side, but then they have 11 wing back, 9 attacking mid, and the 5 at defensive mid.
Yeah, I would imagine they're gonna want to patch that up, but it's a pretty easy fix to make there. Like we've talked about on this call already, the redistribution. Speaking of, there he is, Nathan Clafton.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I just accidentally left PC.
No worries. I was confused what was going on there.
Oh my god. And then Vice Cake came in out of nowhere, but yeah.
A man of the hour, the one we were talking about. He's going over into London, and I think he's going to be a good pickup for them. Like we were talking about, if he needs to redo his positional experience, it's a very easy fix. We've got lots of resources for the rookies here. So I think that the TBC is going to be very happy with his addition to the team.
100%. And again, if there's anyone in this league that you want to have helping you out in terms of players, as we say goodbye to our fallen soldier, G. Take care, man.
Yeah, G2 had to head out.
Yeah. Instead, he's being replaced by his doppelganger, a Franco Torres named Rice Bowl.
If
I
the
wouldn't
call
say it's a
wasn't hostile before, it's
doppelganger.
about to be now.
More like a budget Aspecqueta.
No. Taurus is original, and then Aspilicueta is the budget.
But Aspecqueta is better.
Bruh. Taurus, though. But yeah, no, Claflin, if there's anyone that you want to work under, to have as your GM, that I cannot say is my own, I'm sorry. TVC is probably one. TVC is one that would be very happy to have you on board.
Definitely.
I say
And
that, and now I'm going to get absolutely. I'm going to disappear thanks to other GMs having my head.
Honestly, though, TVC is a really good GM. I like talking with TVC. I mean, we commentate together, and I know she cares a lot about our teams, and she does a lot for them. So yeah, I mean, I think they were really unlucky. It was a tough season for everyone, and if for the prospects that with no context, 5th to 8th, I believe, or was it 5th to 9th, on the last day, we're all like in danger of being relegated. Like the top 4 was safe, but other than that,
yeah,
literally
it
the
was
last
5th
game, it
through
went down
9th.
to the last game. You resim that like 10 times, over, and like is London gonna be the bottom every time? I don't think so. You know what I mean?
Hell
So
no.
it just happened. Just it is what it is. We've all had like I mean, Tokyo won the league and they had a slump at the end. It's just how it is sometimes in football.
Hey, it wasn't a slump. It was just.
Hey,
It was
we
just
had a slump too. So we both slumped. It's just we had such a head start that no one could catch up to you guys.
The big thing with
Close.
Inter is that their off season just really gave them a rough deck of cards to play with. I mean, G2, the other manager who's on stream, was their star striker, and then he became the manager of Cairo, so he left that team. And the return, while very good for Inter, didn't really give them any roster players. So they were really struggling to put it back together up front, and it kind of it came to bite them.
Yeah, like losing Aspilicueta probably was the big hit, because again that line of Clemens, Aspilicueta, Blank White, it worked. It just worked.
I think without question, it was probably the best front 3 in the league.
No, Hollywoods.
I don't know. I think it got
Hollywood's
real
is the
close
best.
there. Maybe by
Hollywood's
TPE, but
TPE wise is the best by far. They're so good. They're so OP.
yeah, but by efficiency,
Least.
that lineup was lethal.
That's fair. I mean, Hollywood did well and did better in the season, so I mean,
Did they actually?
they're pretty
No, that
good.
was the year that they won the league. Because then they lost Azpilicueta the season after.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You're talking about Inter London. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Cairo. Yeah, no, that was a pretty lethal front 3. I think Hollywood still competed with that, if not had the better front 3,
Yeah, it
but
was
they
definitely
were
between
all
the two
pretty
of them.
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hollywood did win the cup in season 3, so there's that.
Yeah. All solid teams. Montreal cutting it pretty close right now.
They could
But
be. They could pass. They could. Just...
I mean, Montreal United. I don't know their squad that in depth, especially with adding all their picks today. But I mean, they could always probably use an extra player, especially helping them try to push back up into the first division. But yeah.
I think that there's still viable options at this point in the draft that Montreal could benefit from. It's just a matter of if they're interested in adding more players right now or looking to the future.
Exactly.
I'm probably missing something. But is Big Noof still the Montreal GM?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Big Noof has Oliver can't stop shots.
Right.
I think he doesn't have to draft himself. I think it automatically just goes on the team.
Correct.
Yeah, because he's had the tenure. There's a clause in the rules there where if you've been the GM of a team for long enough, you just automatically get assigned as opposed to having to draft them.
Yeah, I believe it's 2 seasons. And he's been manager since season 2, so it's more
Yeah.
than enough.
Okay. Fair
I
enough
actually
then.
think technically we were managers at the end of season 1, but same difference.
Mm.
I
This
think
is
there's a
slowly
trade
turning
going
into
down, which
a
is also why it's taking some time.
that would make sense. This is slowly turning into a teaching the league about the rule book stream.
All right then, ladies and
Teaching
gentlemen.
ourselves.
Yeah,
With the-
honestly.
With these rules, with these specifications, you can become an SSL GM.
I swear it's not as complicated as it sounds.
And for some, they can make it as complicated and complex as they like. For others, it's just big brain instinct. If Zeus can win a major in CSGO by nothing but just absolute randomness, then anything can happen.
Fair.
Also, has anyone ever been to Montreal as well?
I can't say I have.
Has
I was
anyone ever
literally
what?
in Montreal 2 weeks ago.
Hey, there we
Oh,
go.
Oh, how was it there,
yeah,
Jess?
It was lovely.
I love Montreal. I've been like 4, 5 times now. I can't remember. I live in Ottawa, so it's not like very far.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
true.
understandable.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, if you ever go like, well, I'm not as young as I used to be, but when I went in my early 20s, it was definitely exciting time to be there at night. The nightlife
I
there
could
is very
imagine.
fun.
You know, most of my my experience with going to Canada has been Leamington and I can't remember Windsor. Yeah.
Windsor.
Rough.
So not super super into what really goes on in Canada.
You mentioned
Yeah,
Windsor.
no,
I did mention
sorry,
Windsor, yeah.
I was just gonna say I love Montreal. For me, it's my favorite city I've ever visited personally.
Really?
Yeah, I love it a
Wow.
lot.
I will
I
keep that
also
in mind. High
know
praise,
I
high
know a
praise.
lot of people there, so I know a lot of people there as well. So I always go visit people and stuff.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that helps a
Yeah.
lot. The picks
A
traded.
big trade. Here we go.
Just a swap of picks there. Montreal moving the 26th overall to catch there for the 30th overall. And the random funder appears and disappears.
Where you go, Thunder? Oh no.
That was a funder in my house. Like, wait, no, was it? I think the funder had the number 39 on it as well, so I don't know.
I admittedly don't fully understand the trade. It seems like you moved down in the draft for no reward, but
Yeah.
again, it probably just wasn't an offer there, and they didn't want the pick, so just move it out, move it away.
Yeah,
Generosity,
maybe
possibly.
they just want it to someone else that
Yeah.
wanted someone, and then if there was someone that was left over at the end, that Montreal's just probably gonna pick them up, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be a case of generosity right now, as we're heading into possibly the tail end of the draft.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Should be
no,
more
definitely not.
generous.
And with that pick, Hopstad acquires, they're going to pick up Hannah Solari, D. Garrett, 32, a striker.
D got 32, 11 pace, 11 finishing, 11 long shot. Long shot on the striker?
Argues with officials too. That'll be fun.
Okay, Hannah Solari is now Diego Costa. Changed my mind. But yeah, but still somewhat all round. Has a little bit of speciality.
Yeah.
I believe it's a very, very new user. I haven't seen the name around in sim leagues. So, hey, welcome aboard, D. Garrett. I hope you enjoy your time, man. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask around in the league.
They're fairly big in PBE. I believe.
Oh, there
Never
you go.
mind. Never mind.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not MPV, so I don't know anyone from there really.
Yeah, the only
I-
other
Unless they're
league that I'm
here.
in is VHL, so I have no knowledge of most of the users.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm sadly a baby in PBE. Well, then again, I'm also sadly a little bit of a little bit of an old man who has gone out of his way in SHL.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, but
Don't say
Why?
that. You're still producing in Manhattan.
somehow, like
I'm-
you got me there, Manhattan. I'm just like, alright, I'm in long term. I'm going to do it. Wait, what time is it? Why is it Sunday? Why do I have to update by Friday?
That's why I dropped most of my my activity in VHL. I was just like, man, I don't know, I'm not about it anymore. I go in, I click 2 buttons to get my welfare TP, and then I leave.
I'm the
Honest-
worst. I'm in SHL and I don't even do my activity check every week. So
I make a mission
R-
to do mine. If I
RIP
don't,
the. Sorry,
go on.
I was just gonna say RIP the Jess because I'm pretty sure I'm on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Only slightly judgmental on that.
No,
Heavy
it's fine.
judgment.
You're a backup goalie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you're
you guys
fine.
have orbiting stuff, so we're fine.
Look, Omni, you took my place over in Winnipeg, so all I ask is that you just annoy Ace a bit more.
Yo, you should just trade me. If you want to go Winnipeg, I don't think they're re-signing me. I'm getting dropped, yo. That's okay though. I've accepted it.
We're getting that Cerveza out here right now. Into London back on the pick though. To be fair, I would now understand why GMs would take a long time one week who to pick this late. Odds on who they'll pick up.
And in London, if you had another pick, I wonder who they'll pick up as well. I mean, we have 3 S5 prospects
Yeah.
and then some undraft players that are in the draft pool, but not too much at the moment.
Could
Could
be.
see Bernardo or De Silva potentially going because they both have those midfield attributes. But it kind of comes down to if Interlondon even wants to add more players at this point.
True.
Yeah, that's also fair.
Another player that could be picked up, not necessarily by Inter or Tokyo, but potentially by any future teams that have an interest. We'll hold off on that because we have our pick coming in. Lockdown All-Star 2089 coming in. Center defender for Inter London. And very all-round
Acquired
build.
lockdown in last season's draft. However, they joined the locker room, it didn't update, couldn't get much contact with them. I think there's a chance that TVC is able to bring this player back though. They're very good at nurturing activity. So if they're able to turn this into an effective pick, that's a huge addition for them.
Very much so. We'll be interested to see how TVC works on Magic. And I think it could work out. Yeah, as said, all-round build. Uses weaker foot. Not. Opposite of that, he avoids using his weaker foot. And he tries to play his way out of trouble. So he's a ball-playing defender. But with growth, good nurturing, he could be the outlet for Inter London.
Yeah, I mean the build for a defender is solid, it's well-rounded, which is something that you can try and do on defense. There's a lot that you want to focus on, and getting your fundamentals up early is always good. It's just a matter of if they're able to get the player to sign a contract or not.
It's honestly just that case there. Oh, round 2's coming over to a close. Inter London making their pick done. So it's just Tokyo SC left in the second round.
I think this is actually a good place for Tokyo to be, because Graydon's been searching for keepers that will be active for their team. Tokyo's been kind of the notorious for goalkeepers showing up, going inactive, and being shipped out.
Oh, shut.
Come on, I gotta bring it up. I gotta bring it up.
No, you can't
But-
even say that now. We have Cody Hill.
But at 28, there is a goalkeeper available, and I think that's a good fit for Tokyo.
There are two goalkeepers available, Josh Berger and Oliver Can't Stop Shots.
And speaking of, Josh Berger brought up.
Yep. Yeah, that's a very good pickup there. Well, I actually wouldn't say very good, but it's a very interesting pickup there for Tokyo.
I think it's a good fit. I mean, you can run a backup in this league still, and with how the cup is going to be formatted, I think Tokyo's going to make a deep run. They're probably going to get Berger his reps in cup games for the most part. But I think that if this player can develop into something, it's nice to have a good tandem there. And I'm going to bring it up again, the history with goalkeepers in Tokyo, it's good to have multiple options.
I hate you on that.
Yes.
Look,
I do it out of love. I do it out of love.
You're doing it because I actually I trolled you there with that 4-5 attackers on
Well,
you.
maybe.
You have a long memory on that.
No.
Oh dear. But I believe that other than doing that as well, like running a 1-2 setup, candidates are loans available.
Loans, yes. Teams can loan players.
Yep. So
There's also that option.
there's that option as well. So Josh Berger, he may not be around. He may not be the backup. He may actually just be loaned out for a team that wants a player. Pay. Wow. But yeah, still though, there will definitely be some game time for him, and he actually has been talking around as well. So it'll be interesting. As we go to Catalonia, Busquets, you've been talking about De Silva for a reason, haven't you?
Omni, talk about your
Sorry,
pick.
give me one sec. Sorry. So, yeah, so I went for Ronaldo De Silva because honestly, I know address. He used to be my GM in SBA, but we played together a lot too as well. He's a really cool guy. I like him a lot. I'm hoping to loan him out, so if people are interested in a winger, I wouldn't mind him getting some minutes, some more game time in a second division. Yeah, personally, I really picked them just because I like the user, and I actually was the one that recommended him to come over. I think a lot of people slept on this guy because, like I said, he's like a max earner in SBA. He's a manager. He does a bunch of other stuff too, like he does presentations, I believe. He also has organized fun like community things like photo competition, like graphic competitions and stuff that were just for fun and stuff. So I think he's a really good user. He's pretty passionate about his team, and he always tries to do things that are going to help his players win. And when I first joined the league, he was definitely one of the guys that helped me out a lot too. So that's why I went for him.
And you just added this player in the third round.
Yeah.
That I'm not a prophet per se. I'm not like a
You're not
like
mad about
Bible
it.
who got 10 picks correct. But I would say that if you got this man in the third, that sounds like that could be the steal of the draft if he's manager in another league and a max earner.
That is 100% true there. Ronaldo De Silva, address, welcome over, and well, your good friend is waiting for you over. Like
It's gonna be a fun player too. I just started looking at 15 XL, 15 pace, tries tricks. This is
Oh
gonna
yeah.
oh yeah,
be
So This player is
Olé!
basically based off of this guy's based off of Ronaldinho basically.
Ooh.
Why not? Wait,
So that's kind of yeah. I think he's like a left-footed Ronaldinho type. I could be wrong. I'd have to look him up again. I can't remember his build, but yeah, I just want like a dribbly, tries tricks, flair, kind of guy.
I'll be honest. I actually thought he was going to be a bit more like a Sporting Club de Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo type player, or a young Manchester United Ronaldo. Yeah, that's interesting. But well, here comes our huge bout of passes. Montreal United now on the pass. Seoul on the pass. Capster, the Sao Paulo passing. Buenos Aires passing. These are your 6 teams decided. Time to slip. Time to slip. Which also means time for you to sleep as well, Cole.
No, it's only, what is this? Like 5:30 here in the afternoon. So,
I envy you. It's 10:32.
ooh,
Right.
that's
Look,
no fun.
hey, look, it's better than the last time when I stayed up the entire night just to do the commentary at like what, 5 a.m.
That is fair. Not to mention that it was the longest draft in league history. So you were there
Yeah,
forever.
My soul. Ah.
I think Paris is probably gonna trade their pick.
I would imagine if they're able to move it, they will.
Yeah. Especially, I think since Josh Berger was taken, it will be interesting for Paris to do what they do.
Yeah, there's 2 goalkeepers available, but like we talked about earlier, they are
One,
season 5 players who likely will not return to activity.
Oliver can't stop shot. I will keep reminding. Oh wait, no, I keep forgetting. He's Sydney, isn't he? Wait, no, he's not. That's not Sydney. That's Big Noof. That is Montreal.
Montreal, yep.
Wait, did Sydney need a goalie as well?
Um, I don't think so. I thought they had a decent keeper.
Yeah. Okay, I was very, very wrong. Certified problem still around, and he's still
Yeah,
certified problem.
I couldn't put my finger on who their keeper was, but yeah, no, certified problem was very good for them last year.
Yeah. My fault there. I apologize. I
No,
thought
you're good. It's hard to keep track of all the rosters with how big the league's getting.
it true. Well, they're at 14. I could expect another 2 just to balance out the leagues.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we see it.
I'll be. Do you think we can go 20? Actually, that's gonna be
Uh,
hard.
I don't know. I think they're kind of playing it by ear as it is, but
Yeah. I
may
honestly, my thoughts 16 would be the optimal, at least for the time being.
I think 16 is a good amount, but it's all comes down to how many active players there are.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just waiting on a trade to be accepted.
Trade coming in then. Yeah, so Paris are probably looking to trade out of 32. I'd imagine they're going for future assets.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moves you can make here, and with how limited the prospect pool is, the futures you're gonna get are gonna be pretty minimal. But I think there's still valuable assets you can get for your picks at this point in the draft.
Yeah, I agree with
Mm.
this. I think if you know the person and you think they're gonna do well, then obviously go for it. But if it's one of those things where you know, um, sorry, I'm trying to like read and talk at the same time,
No,
but I
you're
think
more
it's
than
one of those
fine.
things where you don't have a user that you want like have in mind, and you're
Mhm.
gonna pass anyways. You might as well try to get something out of it.
Yeah, and even if it comes down to being like a next season's fourth, that round might be active next season. You never know. It's if you
Mm.
trade into the future, it's a box of magic beans, and that can be anything. So
Yeah, that certainly looks like the case. Right, at least it's not that long of a draft compared to
Yeah,
how
this draft definitely went quicker. It was a smaller class, and the managers were pretty on top of it this time around. So I think it was
True,
good too.
true. I keep forgetting that. Okay, season 4 was the first time we did it live. See,
Yeah,
first 3 seasons, I'd say progress. Although I would like to see another big draft when I can personally not worry about time.
I think if we get a little more staff support on the back end, we could probably see a big draft class come up again because we spawned it from like a big recruitment drive with SHL. So I think once we
SHL,
had,
SHL, thank you, boys.
I think once we have the bodies to support the just operational side of things, doing another recruitment drive like that would be a big thing for the league.
Let's come for it. Well, that's been gone to me.
However, much like years past, the last couple of picks do drag on and on and on.
And it's still dragging. Gold, can you tell me what the mindset is when it comes for the late round picks?
I think it really
Uh,
depends on what you need for your team.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where um, we we if you know what you want, you go for it. If you don't, you either pass or you trade. And I think right now, the trade they I think Steve like Paris is trying to trade because they don't want it, but I think it's just hard to find a deal that works.
Yeah.
Mm,
Like for me
Um,
personally, this season's the one that I'm kind of like, if it wasn't it made it clear by the trade with Enter, Soul's looking to go more or less all in this year. And for my late round picks, I could pick up a player that I will be forced to play that will ultimately make my team worse on game day because the TP level on the roster is just higher. So bringing in a rookie or moving the pick out for a rookie in future years is not ideal for the way my team is built right now, which is kind of why I don't try to use the late round picks. But there's other teams who can and should be looking to use those picks because they have holes they need to fill or they have space that they can offer to players. It's very dependent on where your team is positioned.
Yeah, that's very much explainable there.
We have another pass.
Looks like Paris couldn't find all the weight. It just could not.
What an exciting wait out on the edge of my seat the whole time.
oh no, Steve!
Blockbuster!
No, Steve! Ah,
Steve, how could you?
he passed. He passed before he saw my last offer.
No.
Aye, aye, aye.
Oh!
He said, "Fuck, I passed."
It's time to do business
Fuck
with
me.
Acro, I guess.
Oh, yo, Cole, hit me up, Cole.
I
Am I allowed to
mean,
move the pick? Have I passed it already?
You have passed already, so you are not
No.
allowed to trade your
no.
picks. The next
Fuck
team to
me.
pick is Inter London.
Yo, hold up, guys.
TBC,
I gotta
TBC,
go
hold
hit up
up.
TBC.
TBC, come
TBC,
on.
call your boy, call your boy.
Holy.
What?
Broadcast in shambles right now.
What will we see of them?
There's only one season 5 prospect available, so I mean, if you can call me out on this if I'm wrong, but I think Omni might be interested in Luis Bernardo.
He actually just
I have
might.
absolutely no clue what you're talking about right now.
The slight chance. No leaks though, no leaks. You didn't hear it from me.
I want my Luis Bernardo.
He wants his leaks.
You will have the next pick at 39, so.
Only if
is
Inter
true.
passes, though.
Yeah, what if they take my pick?
There are 2 overaged players as well available.
That is fair.
Hmm.
Yo, TVC, where are you at? Oh,
Uh-oh.
BRB.
What will we see? Anyone within into London, can you tell us what the potential could be? We need the big fourth.
I think it comes down to whether or not Inter is interested in picking up Luis. Because if they have an interest there, then that's going to be an expensive trade to make.
Thing is, they could afford it simply because they're in the lower division. Whilst,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
hmm,
But at this point, you're leveraging your assets for anything you can get out of it.
very much so. Hmm. I'm actually going to be interested. I'm actually wondering. Next time we probably should do some skits around here just to gauge the mind whilst we pass the time.
I don't know if I'd be any good. I've been never even attempted to do improv.
When you go on with some things, life is an improv.
That's fair. That's a good point.
I I mean, maybe Catalunya could also skip on one player, and it'll be down to Hollywood who makes the first pick in the entire draft. Well, Hollywood hasn't even picked anyone yet. Like, where's Rashford? I need to ask why hasn't Hollywood why did Hollywood hold back this entire draft?
There's a couple of teams that completely traded out of this draft. I know that I believe Athenai had no picks in this draft as well.
Yep.
Hmm.
And I don't want to say that we traded out. It was more like we got expansioned out.
Oh, fair.
Well, I mean, we did trade a couple of picks as well. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can only expansion out the first, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely traded my picks to keep my roster together.
Yeah, at a certain point you kind of just have to. There's no reason to sacrifice an active earning key part of your locker room for a first at this point.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, again, that's depending on where you are as a team. For me personally, that wasn't an option.
This is gonna be. I say time's over, but time's not over.
I'm very nearly over.
Well, it's definitely two. Well, it's a 2.5 hour mark, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would say it went fairly quick to get through. What was this, like 30-ish picks?
It went slower than what the rate of picks would have been last time, I think. Because I think we had 3 hours for 50 picks last season.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there was a lot more side deals this time around, though, was there not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
kind of it slows it down.
Oh, okay. So Oh, I would like to gather your thoughts on the picks that have been made. Who do you think the winners have been in this draft?
I think Buenos Aires is going to be very, very happy with what they walk away with here.
Same with Inter.
Yeah, Inter as well. Inter, I mean, it's hard to lose when you own about half the draft, but Inter's going to be very happy with their additions as well. I don't think there's any real standouts as far as like, oh, someone made a mistake here or there. I don't think anyone really did that. I think everyone knew what they wanted and got what they wanted here. Like, we saw the emphasis on defenders, as I think half of the first 8 picks were central defenders.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, half of them are center backs.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of low scores in Div 2. Oh, bless you.
That's due time. A lot more defense, a lot more solidity down back, and out the first 8, 3 of them were strikers as well. So definitely
Yeah.
a fine mix.
Teams came in with plans and they executed on those plans. I think with a lot of the teams that were picked early on, they were either new sides or sides that didn't have a lot of talent left there. So building out from the back was a good move for them.
True that. We have a pick.
Tommy will have a sad day.
There will be tears going out in Barcelona as Luis Barando heads over to Inter London, centre midfield, 15 acceleration, 14 pace, 14 dribbling.
Another one of those players where they have a good build right out the gate. Really a specialized player. The traits fit really well with what they're trying to do there. I think that they're going to be another out of the box effective player. Like it's hard to say anything more than that. They have the creativity, they have the skill, they have the technicals. Like I think they're going to be really good.
Certainly, especially
I'm
with
excited.
Oh,
well,
I
just
think
that.
they're gonna be really, really good. They're a good user. I know for sure. Because I know them from the SBA.
oh, okay.
I actually manage. Well, they're the GM. I'm the assistant GM of Miami Vice. So actually another SBA GM. He's really good. He plays FM in real life too. So I know he likes football. He likes FM. And I know his player is actually based off of like kind of Bernardo Silva. And I think a bit of like Pedri, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, kind of like a good dribbling kind of creative playmaker.
Yeah, no, I definitely seen what they were going for, and it should be very effective. I'm excited to see how they do.
Like what I said on that point, yeah, your soul's been snatched hard enough that you decide to pass. He did his job. He did his job.
That leaves us with only Hollywood and Tokyo having picks remaining.
Yep. I don't know if they'll last as well. At least I somewhat doubt. I think Hollywood being staying out in this draft actually interests me a little bit though. I wonder what they see that's available.
Well, the only options for them are 2 overage goalkeepers. So unless they have like an inkling of some kind that these players are coming back, I don't see the purpose of staying in the draft at this point.
That's certainly true, but then again, there's also they could just find something that just somewhat catches their eye out there.
Yeah, that's fair. Hollywood's one of those teams though where you look at them and they have really strong goalkeeping alongside the rest of their squad. So they could very well go for it, but I feel like they're not going to want to make a move that forces them to sub out their goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's like still though. It's a curious case with them, knowing that they are almost certainly sorted.
Yeah. You never know though. Zodiac's brain is a steel trap. You're not getting anything out of him.
What if we pry it open with what could we use to pry open steel traps?
Is a good question. I am not an expert in the field of steel trap opening, so I can't say I would know.
Anyone good with lumberjack?
We only have one more team.
Okay, so they
On
do
the
end up
clock.
passing. They
Yeah,
do
Hollywood
end up
ended up passing, yes. So now we
Yep.
only wait for Tokyo.
Oh god.
Awkward.
Jess, what do we do?
Are Graydon and
I mean,
Man
I know
even
what
here?
the answer is, but I'm not the GM, so I can't make the answer.
Say it then, GM or no GM.
No leaks.
I'm legally not allowed to do that for another team.
Oh, Nam is still here. Okay, so there is a possibility that this gets done.
Yeah, it's Nam.
Yeah.
Nam the man.
Nam the man.
Or we just have to
Doesn't like
sit here and
being
wait for
making
10
hay.
minutes.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
If we sit here and wait for 10 minutes and Tokyo gets skipped and Tokyo is the only team left, do we just end up in like an endless cycle where Tokyo gets skipped for Tokyo every 10 minutes?
I mean, we kind of last season we had we had 5th rounders and 6th rounders, but I don't see any reason as to why we should have them in
Yeah.
this case.
I do not want to be put into a genjutsu. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because otherwise then both Athenai and Sydney come back with active picks in the 5th and 6th round.
Oh. Yeah, now that you mentioned Athenai.
Yeah.
You didn't pick at all this draft, did you?
I did not. I have my hands full with the production aspects.
What better way than to just trade away all your picks?
Yep.
I wanted to do that, but no one wanted my 3rd rounders, so took it in my own hands.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. I tried to ship it out, but I couldn't move it for anything.
Oh dear. So then, whilst me and Jess waits for the last pick.
I mean, it's likely to be a pass, but
yeah, I predict
I
for a
mean,
dirt pass.
you know, so far it seems like a good draft for a lot of teams. I think the expansion sides made some good picks, but I also think that Inter London and Buenos Aires definitely made some really good, solid pickups, and I think the 2nd division is gonna be pretty exciting as well, to be honest.
Oh, definitely. I'm excited to watch
100%.
those games.
100% 2nd division will be very much interesting, seeing how that could go.
Who do you predict will be relegated and promoted next season?
It's
Cairo.
really tough.
Ooh.
Omni was just quick on the trigger.
It's gonna be Cairo
He's always
City.
willing to swing at Cairo.
I
I don't even know
mean,
who else could be in there other than them, really.
I think the
actually,
easier one to
Inter
answer is
London.
probably promotion. Yeah, Inter London, I feel is
Inter
definitely going to be
London.
one of those teams.
Trying to think who's even. Oh,
I'd say
if
maybe,
Steve's
I'd say
listening,
Accra.
Perry.
Perry.
Perry. AS
So-
Perry. Yeah, I only say that because I don't know, who? I think I remember him being said as Paris within France. I don't know. I'm probably butchering it. But if I'm butchering it, then that's fine because yay.
My French is really bad, but I do know one thing. You usually don't pronounce the last consonant unless there's like a vowel at the end. So you just say Paris, you don't say Paris.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of
Then.
weird.
Fair.
But my French isn't very good.
I don't have to worry about French. I like to stick to Anglophones. But yeah, well, yeah. The two teams I would say would be relegated. I could see probably AS Paris and Athenai, to be honest. Sorry, Candice.
You're just slandering this man on his own draft call.
I'm look. I have to have no filter in some ways, and even though I am nice, I also have to tell the truth as I see it. And then they can prove me wrong, and they can absolutely clown on me, and that will be legal fair gain.
You're betting against the one of the better defensive sides for 4 seasons running.
Yes, and you're saying that to one of the wildcard teams that built on defense. No, seriously.
I think it'll be really hard, honestly.
I
I'm
genuinely
scared
think the
personally,
relegation race
but
is going to be tight the whole way. Like, there's never going to be a comfortable moment in Division 1.
There is zero comfortable moments. Like, let me put it this way: there is no teams that will be safe at all.
No, it's very hard to peg anyone as being a candidate for relegation. It's
Yeah.
just, it's too close.
Yeah, I'm only probably saying what I feel is probably the reasonable ones, but at the same time, for all I know, the relegation next season will be Sydney and Catalonia.
I mean, it could be literally any. You shuffle the cards and draw the top two. It's
Yeah.
just how it goes.
I think
Yeah.
Hollywood FC and Sydney are probably the best two teams right now. And I'm saying that as someone that wishes he was the best team right now. So I think I'm up there, but I think those two teams are better than mine.
It's just one of those things. Like, the gap between the Div 1 teams is significantly smaller than the gaps between like the top of Div 2 and the bottom of Div 2.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, last season I did struggle against some of the teams, but I think for the most part, I'm more scared. I was more scared to face, the Hollywoods and the Sydneys and the Tokyos than maybe I was of some of the other teams.
Right.
Low-key, I definitely know I used some of the easier teams as a way to rotate, but this year I think it's gonna be harder for Division 1 teams to rotate because you gotta rotate potentially against all top teams now, whereas before when it was
Yeah.
like 12 teams, right? Like, if you're facing one of the bottom, 4 teams, it's a perfect opportunity to put your rookies in and give them more minutes.
Exactly.
Now it'll be definitely harder to do that, but it'll be
God.
exciting.
Like, now it's literally a case of, alright, is less putting in rookies for the hell of it, TPM wise, it's now best a case of, okay, what is the stylistic approach we can go for? Because, yeah, sure, your tiki-taka football can work on one day, but next day you cannot guarantee that will work. So it's just a better idea to go, okay, let's flip our player, and instead of tiki taka, we can go more counter attacking.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really played truly counterattacking, but sometimes I definitely have played a bit more direct. We always have a really high pressing system, so I think that's kind of the one thing is we almost always play with a high line, high line of engagement, and like we press. That's kind of the thing we do. Sometimes we might be a little bit more direct with the ball, but usually even when we are more direct, we're still trying to do shorter passing. Um, but yeah, it was hard for my team last year to maintain the tiki taka because we had like four prospects, and some of them were more specialized in other areas. That went like not so much into first touch and passing, but maybe like our striker was more of a finisher, and we had a center back, and obviously with a rookie center back, you don't want to put all the TP in the passing and stuff. So I think hopefully this year I'm hoping that we can maintain a bit more of a tiki taka style because personally that's just how I like to play. It's how I want my team to play, and I think for myself it would be significantly more meaningful to win using a tiki taka style than maybe trying to play the way I think is maybe more meta or maybe a bit more effective. I do think Tiki Taka is one of the more effective tactics in the game, but I think I've noticed personally that it's sometimes easier to just play a bit more direct, unfortunately.
It
Yeah.
sometimes is, yeah. That's why, to be fair, that's probably, if I was a manager, that'd be one of my go-tos.
Honestly, sorry, I was gonna just want to say one thing. Honestly, it was actually Twix that made me change it up. I played really, really Tiki Taka until they found something that worked. Because I'm a little bit more stubborn. Whereas I don't think some of the other managers probably care a bit more about winning. I'm more like the Cruyff, where I want to win, but I want to win in style. I want to win playing beautifully. I don't want to just play maybe not what I would consider the most like technical or the most my favorite kind of style of play personally.
Yeah, it's the level of skill with the players in the league has gone up a lot the past couple seasons. It kind of makes you have to sacrifice what you would like to do for what works every now and again. Because I definitely also like playing that shorter possession game, but I couldn't get our team to do it effectively against some of the talent in the league.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because some of the teams I've done it effectively against have been some of the better teams, whereas I think with the low like some of the lower teams in the league, maybe because maybe they approach the game more defensively against me. Uh, maybe they don't play as high of a line or they don't press as much. Maybe it's harder for us to score because there's that gap, or not gap, lack of gap, but
Right.
like a low block. And usually Tiki Taka teams struggle in a low block system compared to high blocks because if you're parking the bus, it's hard to get to pass the ball in the net. But if there's a high line, I mean it's pretty easy to pass the ball in the net because you got more space. I mean, you're getting pressed more, but if you beat that press, then you essentially killed that team. Whereas a
Sorry.
low block, they're not pressing you as much, so you have to actually go to them and try to move it around and try to break them down. So I found that direct styles actually helped us more against some of the quote unquote maybe weaker teams because I found that they weren't playing so aggressively attacking
That's
that I had
interesting.
to actually break them down more. Like I know, for instance, in the cup match, uh, I remember I was playing against like it was a double match thing, and it was against Hollywood and Cairo, and my tactic against Cairo was like really really well. Using against Hollywood FC and it didn't work, and then I switched it around, and it worked really well in testing with Hollywood, and I took that same tactic and went back to the other save file and tried it with Cairo City, and it wasn't working. So I found that I had two different tactics that worked effectively against two other teams, but when switching them, it went.
Yeah, it's definitely you have to figure out how each team ticks and kind of counter that. I know that I tried to be better about that last season, especially in the first half, and then I just fell apart as was noted in the table.
We
Yeah,
have
same with us.
our final pass.
Nope.
Oh,
You
thank
know,
God.
Tokyo.
Go!
I couldn't interrupt them for speaking, but yeah,
Well-
Tokyo with pick number 56, they select player pass
Oh,
from pass Norway.
And intra-London passes, Sydney passes, and Athens passes.
Everyone passes, which means the draft is complete.
it went very
Awesome.
smoothly, I felt.
It honestly
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
It was great talking with all of you and getting to discuss
Uh,
our new players.
Honestly, it has been, and it's been great to rib in and you guys for you to do so to me.
It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
100%. And then, looks like the draft is complete for all. And to
Good job,
everyone that has
everyone.
to everyone who has been selected, we're not saying goodbye yet, Jess.
I just said good job. I didn't say
Wow.
goodbye.
My
He needs to
bad.
take a nap. He's falling apart.
Oh no. But yeah, to everyone who has been drafted, congratulations. And just know you only just made the starting line. Keep grinding on the MTP. Don't be afraid to take the media, take those jobs. And this league is only growing as well. So take things as you do. Enjoy the sim, enjoy your locker rooms, enjoy your players, and we'll see you all on the field. Thank you, everyone. This has been Project Saint.
I'm
Come
cold.
on.
Yeah, I'm Omni, and I'm really excited for us to have our first season using a promotion relegation structure. I know it might have been hard for some teams to get relegated, but I think a lot of those same teams are actually kind of excited because now there's a lot more to play for every team. You're not just trying to win the league, you're also trying to survive the league. Or if you are in the second division, it's not just a development league where you win the title and then you try to win it again, until your players get good enough that you go to a professional team. No, it's gonna be, super exciting to see who comes up, who comes down every year. It's gonna put a lot of pressure on us managers, but I think you'll see a different type of sim league than other sim leagues. And I'm super excited. I've been excited to see this since I first joined the league. And yeah, I can't wait to see how the season's gonna play out. And I wish the best of luck for everyone, but hopefully it ain't gonna be me that gets relegated or I'll cry.
Yeah. And also, let's not forget Cole as well.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking with all of you. I am happy for all the prospects who got selected. I hope you guys enjoy the league. I've loved my time here, and I hope you all have just as good a time as I have, if not better.
And shout out to Candace for doing everything in the back, and Jess for helping keep us, all on a relative timeline.
100%.
The entire head office team has done amazing
Yeah.
work behind the scenes here for this, so make sure
We're
you
just
give them lots of love in the Discord.
we just show up and everything's already ready for us. We're doing the easy part, to be honest.
Yeah, we just make jokes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We make jokes and we ribbon each other.
Yep.
But yeah. Well, yeah, that should sum it up for us. And yeah, we'll see you all again next season for the draft. And not too long until the season starts. So,
Yeah. Good luck in the shield.
cheers. And take care, everyone. Hasta luego.